on. Vince McMahon, please die. Vince McMahon, please die. I hate myself every Monday night. So Vince, could you please fucking die? Vince McMahon, please die. Vince McMahon, please die. You could use a gun or a fucking knife. I wanna kill myself, it's Monday night. I'm just kidding, Vince. You know I love you. Fuck PG in its mouth. Fuck Russell, tear it out. Do the same with SmackDown, same result. Week to week, scream and shout. We are told to shut our mouths. No more lies, thorn in your eye. We're all together. This is war. Out of nowhere. This is war. Out of nowhere. This is war. Out of nowhere. This is war. Out of Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Outta Nowhere Wrestling Podcast. It's Jake DeMarco, Joe Cronin. We did a 2-hour podcast today, and it's up on Patreon right now, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Guys, you can't not miss. You can't miss what me and Jake did earlier today. It was insane. We talked about music, we talked about Undertaker and Rogan, we talked about politics, we talked about Blockbuster Video and video games, we talked about Mexican food, we talked about Mortal Kombat, the new movie, it's crazy. Monetize This 300, we took your questions, and we just talked about so much stuff, man. It was 2 hours. I actually really enjoyed it. In fact, it was so weird because I had to listen to the audio to see if it was right. So I listened to a lot of it. I enjoyed listening back to it. Guys, if you're not a patron, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. We could use you on Patreon, number one, because we're behind on Patreon. We need your help on Patreon. Get over there. But also because you get just tons of hours of bonus content. But here we are, tons of wrestling news to talk about tonight. And it's out of nowhere, and we're coming up on all kinds of things. We got AEW ratings, we got NXT ratings, we got the Undertaker controversy or whatever. I don't even think it's a controversy. I think it's him like stating the obvious, and I've been saying it for a long time. In fact, literally every single time. Do you remember when people got on me about, oh, you're being too hard or whatever the fuck, blah, blah. And literally ever since I went on my stop playing video games rant, and I asked on Twitter earlier, if anybody has this on Twitter and can get it to me, please let me know. I really want to remember and find out what show and what episode it was where I flipped out and had a conniption about, well, just go play all your video games, and I really went nuts. It wasn't that long ago. It was only a couple months ago. Somebody may
I went back looking, and I was trying to find it. I could swear it was on an AEW review, but I didn't have any luck yet.
I think I was in on Mero and everybody, and I was lambasting.
I think it was when they destroyed the arcade cabinet that night, but
it might be. That's going back though. I think it's earlier than that, but maybe. I think it's after that. I think it's right around when he wore one of the goofier suits the second time or whatever. Somebody will find it. Somebody will tell me, and we'll find it.
Somebody's going to help us. We got historians around here, but it's been a wild day for news. We had a hell of a podcast before. It was great to talk to you. You're unfortunately dealing with mushmouth over here. I'm still lisping my way through some things, but right away, before we get into the Undertaker stuff, I know that's what people want to talk about the most. Obviously so, because it is. As you said, it's not news because it's so evidently obvious, but yet because he said it, it's news. AEW doing pretty damn well this week. They brought in 854,000 viewers. NXT brought in 659,000.
How many did AEW do again?
854.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Solid, ratings for a not that great show, funny enough. I felt like NXT was actually the better of the two shows.
Yeah.
The Fight Pit was fantastic. And they, Casey Catanzaro had a great tag match for the Women's Dusty Classic on there. I like the Finn Balor segment.
But again,
it
was because they almost present NXT, I feel like the show now feels like a wrestling pay-per-view every night. It doesn't feel or like they're booking wrestling match in every night like it's an indie show. Whereas AEW still provides the promo things and the bigger sort of crazier storylines, I feel like, where NXT is still just kind of like put the best matches together. Okay, go out and do it. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. And that's the thing, because AEW has a lot of character and a lot of ambition to drive those narratives. As where NXT, it is just about the matches most often. They don't have a lot of character-heavy driven moments, and they're getting better with that recently. The Gargano family bringing upon the way, and people having some new feuds. It is something they're actively working on, but AEW has them beat there. Unfortunately, AEW doesn't have them beat in the women's division, and that's where they're thriving on NXT right now. And one of the worries I have is that they're going to call up Rhea Ripley for the Royal Rumble, and that seems to be the Rumble that's stirring around at this point in time. It's a rumbling that's definitely happening, and I can see why. She went out putting over Gonzalez on her way out, and they had that great last woman standing match on NXT. Hell of a final showing. She put someone over. It seems like she's done with NXT. Makes sense. I'm hoping she goes to NXT. I haven't heard where she's going at this point in time, but it seems that she will be debuting in the Rumble up to this current point in time. That's what's being said.
Damn. Okay, so that makes sense too, because them saying like there'll be no NXT competitors, so that makes you not want to, expect her or expect anybody. And to get that one is special.
Exactly, and they're saying no NXT competitors, but if she's a main roster call-up, she really wouldn't be a NXT competitor anymore. So that's kind of their loophole or way out of that.
Yep. I like it. I thought that the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, and Rhea Ripley needs to go up there. What a mess, too. She really went from...
She was top of the mountain, and then she just, that huge loss to Charlotte, that took her down quite a few pegs mentally, not in a kayfabe sense, like actually, depressed her. She had a hard, mental going.
Oh, Undertaker will take care of her.
Yeah, but it is the way they've designed people to not know failure in NXT. It is weird because you look at so many of the different stars, they get booked to be constantly put over, and then all of a sudden they go to the main roster and they start losing, and they're not used to it. They're not used to, having their shoulders pinned. Look at Asuka. She came in with an undefeated streak going on and then lost at WrestleMania. No wonder why that messed her up. That would mess anybody up. You've been undefeated for 500 plus days as a champion. You don't even get that defeat. You go ahead and relinquish the belt. You make it to the Rumble, you win, and then you lose at WrestleMania. That would mess up my psyche as well. My confidence would be broken. But apparently with the 2021 Royal Rumble, favorites have changed. Daniel Bryan is now the most likely to win the 2021 Royal Rumble match.
Wow.
His betting odds have shot through the roof. So now he's plus 125 as the favorite. Keith Lee is in second, and Edge is right behind him in third place. So I could see any of those three winning because it makes sense against either competitor. Edge can go on either show. Same thing with, we could see Keith Lee go against Drew McIntyre again. They've had kind of a feud already where Keith has lost, so they can try and build him up again. But I rather prefer Daniel Bryan finally get that Rumble win. It's just sad it's not going to be in front of fans if that's the case.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That really is.
That's the only reason why I was hoping he still wouldn't get it, because the fans really wanted Daniel Bryan to win badly. That was the whole thing. I feel like it passed us by though.
I feel like that moment is kind of gone. I see what they're getting at, because he would be a great competitor for Roman Reigns, but I don't believe that he's able to beat Roman at this point. It would take a lot of work.
TKO Rising's worried already. Look at him. I hope this show doesn't end with me saying anything to provoke you guys.
He doesn't want to.
Not again.
End the show early.
No, it's okay, TKO. You're fine, man. I love TKO, by the way. I love him. He's a good guy. He's been here probably a lot longer than half the people in here. He's been around a long time. TKO Rising goes back to like Tommy C days.
Yeah, years and years ago.
I love him. I was just joking around a little bit.
You were ending the show anyways. You told
I was, but I did put the heat on him when I saw that. I put the heat on him like,
but it was funny.
Fuck, it's his fault. All right, it's over.
Not at that point.
It was.
He ruined his night, but it was funny.
Yeah, it's funny to me. I was like a sick laugh going on in my head. Like,
speaking of funny, with some of these betting numbers, they have Brock Lesnar on there, Goldberg. They have Drew McIntyre on there, and I'm like, why have Drew? So what if he loses the title to Goldberg, then he goes into the Rumble? That would be a horrible idea. The only thing I said, as I mentioned to you the other day, I think would be a decent payoff for any of this is when Drew faces Goldberg, have the Fiend interrupt the match, and then they can have a rematch at whatever it is, Fastlane, Elimination Chamber, whichever one comes up next. I think it's Elimination Chamber first, but I would rather see it happen that way, because I don't want Goldberg to be the champion, obviously. I don't want him to beat Drew McIntyre, and I have a hard time picturing him losing right now, too. So it's just a very dangerous situation that they booked themselves into.
Oh yeah, that makes my head hurt. Like
Absolutely.
I just want to like keep the Fiend to these one-off little fights with random people.
That's why I think it would work with Goldberg, because it'd be just a one-off. He'd get it revenge for all the bullshit that happened last year when he lost his title at the Saudi show.
Will Goldberg agree to lose twice? Because Goldberg is probably losing to Drew. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't lose to Drew; it would end in disqualification. So that would cover that. The Fiend interferes; it covers Goldberg.
That makes Drew look like a
really
bitch, though.
Lost. Well, no, because it would just be that the Fiend had his own ulterior motive, so he interrupted the match to attack Goldberg.
Okay, now. Maybe we could do that.
This way, Drew doesn't lose. Goldberg didn't lose either. He just got attacked by the Fiend.
So the Fiend, but what about Randy Orton?
Well, they would have a match earlier in the night, and I'm hoping that the Fiend settles that finally when he returns. He's supposed to return at the Rumble when him and Randy have a match, because the story they're telling now is Randy was burnt because that was the way they could take him out of the Rumble and keep him from winning.
So Randy can face Edge with this new insanity that's been given to him via the Fiend, and the Fiend can go on to face Goldberg at WrestleMania and get it and beat Goldberg
and get his win back.
I guess, and then Goldberg.
I don't know. I'd rather him face Goldberg not at Mania. I'd rather him have a better feud going and just have him beat him quick at Fastlane or whatever it is coming up, Elimination Chamber, either or.
Oh my God, really? Like what the hell?
I'd rather have him do that, and then you can have Goldberg go into another match. You can even still do Goldberg and Roman if you really wanted to, since you didn't get that last year, and then Roman beats Goldberg there.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Did you just donate to Joe?
Oh, good donation.
Did you just donate to Joe? Thank you for the donation. And because you donated, I'm going to feast myself in bunghole.
Gerald Armstrong is here.
Gerald Armstrong tipped $3.33. I'm sure Taker doesn't give a damn about getting any heat from anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure Taker doesn't give a damn. I don't. And he said it on the podcast. He goes, "Oh, yeah, people are gonna hear this and be like, oh, the old bitter old guy."
Yeah, they're gonna say, but he even openly admitted how he's not still there. He could still be there, just delivering a choke slam and making people get pinned for a 3 count, like what they did to AJ at the Kuwait Trophy.
No, but listen,
that was thing.
I've said the same exact thing the Undertaker said. Why does everybody now, right? I swear to God. Oh, I know when we can find out when this rant was, Jake. We can find out when this rant was because when I went off on this rant about video games, didn't they then do something that had to do with this? Like, it was like the next day. It was almost like, remember there was, I'm not saying this happened. I'm saying listeners of the show were like, Joe, they like heard you or something, because then they literally went like
something happened.
Something happened or somebody said something like the next day about it or whatever, or a week later. It was right after it. So we got to find out where that rant of mine is. And I flipped out on Miro beforehand. It was one of those, I wonder if you weren't even around. Maybe that was a review where you couldn't be here because that's why I snapped, or were you here for it?
I remember you cutting such a promo, but I don't remember if I watched it or if I was here, to be God honest with you.
So the point then is that
they all kind of blur together.
The point then, all of the, like, if you want to call me just some dumb asshole, even though I've been watching wrestling since 1987 and I've wrestled and I've been a referee and I've been a commentator and I've done everything, even if you want to say I'm an inexperienced idiot behind a microphone, the fact of the matter is I brought up video games being an actual thing. Something about playing video games in the back. Oh, playing video games. Oh, I love video games more than anything. Oh, I don't care about my character. I'd rather play video games. Oh, like, there's something to that because now several other wrestlers and experienced people who are more experienced than me and have brought it up. And now maybe the most legendary person in the business ever has come out and said that that's all it is now. Now it's like, oh, video games. Like, that's... So, you know what? You can kiss my ass, everybody who questioned that.
It might have been during
rant.
the Twitch ban, Sir Huggington says, and that might... Yeah. That might be it.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what it was. You nailed it. I flipped out, and then literally the next day or 2 days later, it was 1 or 2 days went by, and WWE announced that the wrestlers would no longer be allowed on Twitch and stuff like that. That's exactly what it was. I literally went on a rant making fun of them for caring more about streaming on their stupid Twitches.
And the next day, they couldn't stream anymore. Yep.
I swear to God, I ruined it for them. I don't know what it... Yeah, and then I made a video saying, did I ruin it for them? And people were like, you're an idiot or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. But it was funny. It was... Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Shit's crazy.
Wonder if I can find it. I thought I thought I clipped it.
I'm looking through, and
I thought I clipped it like Joe Cronin ruins Twitch for the wrestlers. I swear to God I had clipped it, but I guess I didn't.
Apparently Dave Chappelle tested positive for COVID. Really?
Rich bitch. He didn't.
That means he was hanging out with Joe Rogan, so hopefully the Undertaker didn't get the COVID from Joe Rogan either.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, well, so I saw Tulsi Gabbard was on the show after Undertaker. So you're saying Dave Chappelle's coming up?
No, that Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle, I guess, were hanging out somewhere with Elon Musk and a few others. And Yep. Yeah,
Twitch ban was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So just look for, not January, not December. Look for November, I guess. I'll look for November and see if I can find it. Because I guess that's when it would be, is November. Was the Twitch ban. All right, well, at least we kind of narrowed it down. You're fired, 15 employees, Rumble.
We will find it, though.
We will find it. God damn it, I'll find it. Page backlash, crying on Twitch.
Obviously, the biggest news is everything with the Rogan podcast, as I was segueing into with the COVID announcement and the Undertaker's comments. He said, in the era of guys, men were men. You go into a dressing room today, it's a lot different. I remember walking into my first real dressing room. Half of them had knives and guns in their bags. Shit got handled then. Now you walk in and there's guys playing video games and fucking making sure they look pretty. It's evolution, I guess. I don't know what it is, but I like those eras, man. I liked when we were men. when men were men. I understand what he's saying, and I don't think it's this toxic masculinity or like a chauvinistic pig comment at all.
We need some toxic masculinity. We need fucking masculinity.
We all need that a little bit. And Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, responded with an interesting take. He said, I wouldn't be the person I am today without the guidance and lessons of a few key people from the previous generations. They taught me about business to save my money, and that having video games in the locker room is healthier than having redacted. Thank you, guys. So I guess he's trying to say, all right, this is, it's better for us to be into video games than be into drugs and knives and guns and contraband in that sense.
Right.
I get the point, but I don't think Undertaker, yes, he literally meant, knives and guns were there, but that wasn't strictly his point. His point was that the guys then would do anything they had to do to defend their character, to keep kayfabe alive. They would stab a motherfucker if it came down to it.
Right.
They would shoot somebody over a bad finish of a match because that's how much their career meant to them.
Or stealing their
their finisher, stealing their moves, stealing their girl,
their pills. Don't steal my pills.
Yeah, well, that shit too. But what I'm saying is, the business mattered to people. We even said how the Undertaker in this podcast talked about the fact that his eye, the orbital socket, was completely destroyed. 90% of the orbital floor was destroyed and completely ruined.
That was a great story.
He wouldn't go to the ER. And he didn't even realize that something was drastically wrong, just that he was in pain. So he goes ahead and he's doing that, and he's supposed to go out with the Godfather for drinks. They don't make it because he gets lost, can't find the bar. They don't have cell phones then. He drives by an ER, and it's after midnight. He said, no one's there. I got to make sure and scope out the place because he wants to keep up, with the image of the Undertaker. He makes sure no one's in the emergency room, and they tell him, oh, now you have to go have surgery. You got to have a specialist because his eye was completely destroyed and he almost lost his sight. And then again, it happened with Rey Mysterio, all those years later, landing on his face and crushing his other side. So it's a lot of stuff. But he wouldn't even go to a hospital to protect the image of the Undertaker.
Yeah, dude, I love the idea that he's like creeping in the windows. Like, is there anybody that could see me in here? Like, I love it, man.
He had to make sure. He always dressed in black. He spoke very, infrequently. He didn't make public appearances because he wanted you to look at him and say, "There's something wrong with that guy." Maybe not the dead man, but he certainly is off, and that's what he got, and that's why the character was in demand for so long. But I don't disagree with what he's saying. He's saying that now people don't seem to fight for the job the way they used to. Roman Reigns is sitting here in a recent interview saying that he's telling us the Bleacher Report, he doesn't like to be too detailed in his promos because when he has to go ahead and memorize all these lines, he gets extremely stressed out and it doesn't work. An example, Suffer and Succotash. He's supposed to remember all these things, and he says he can never get the message or the point across. Once he turned heel, he said, I thought about it on an emotional level, and I put my emotionally feeling and put myself in the real scenario. I said, you're this guy now. This is what you're feeling. This is what you're trying to achieve. That's what makes the difference, because we believe it, because it actually seems like something Roman Reigns, the wrestler, would say and do.
Yeah.
That's why we enjoyed The Undertaker so much, because we believe the character. A lot of people today, we don't believe. You look at Aleister Black, you look at Ricochet, they're great talents, but they are not good characters, unfortunately, because of how they've been handled.
Yeah, they're just sort of generic theme guy number 7 or whatever you want to call it. And, one of the things, too, by the way, I believe, Jake, going back to my rant thing, I believe I'm confusing 2 different rants. I believe there was one point in rant from a while ago, which I did find, by the way, I'll play it. But also, I believe that there was a rant like 4 weeks ago to 5 weeks ago where I snapped on Miro and everybody in the lock, and I was talking about like, ooh, video games, and I was like making fun of it. That was actually a separate rant. So I figured this out. There's 2 different rants. There's the one from a while ago, and then there's the one from recently, which was like 5 weeks ago, and it included me ranting about Miro's outfits. So we got to find that one, and then I'll show you this one. This isn't quite it though, but I found it because I did an advanced I did a little search on my tweet, and I found this. Vince McMahon is giving superstars and wrestlers 30 days to stop, being Twitch people, and it's all written for. And here's the rant. I said this 5 days ago. And now The Rock is popular, but you'll never get that now because all these wrestlers in the back are told what to say, and it's all written for them. And every once in a while, when somebody does get a little chance, they really can't cut a promo because everybody's a nice guy now, and they all play video games together. You know what we need is some fucking toxic masculinity. That's what we fucking need in the WWE. Some fucking toxic masculinity. All the wrestlers are playing video games in the back. Hey, you want to go on up, up, down, down? Hey, guys, what's up? Oh, yeah. Dude, I just played the new fucking Grand Theft Auto. You playing the Grand Theft Auto? We're all kids. Because you playing Double Dragon 7? I'm playing Double Dragon 7. Oh, I'm going to play Double Dragon 7. Yo, it's AJ Styles. Oh, my God, I just won in Madden. Biggie Langston. Oh, Biggie. Oh, I'm Biggie. Oh, shit, I just scored. Oh, my God, I'm Biggie. Xavier Woods. You care about fucking video games more than you do wrestling. Oh, this is great. I'll just go in there and say whatever they want me to say on the paper so I can run my YouTube channel video game thing. Oh, okay, whatever. What do you want me to say, Vince? Okay, cool, whatever. The New Day thinks that everybody here wants to have a pancake party. Do you want to have a pancake party? I know you want to have a pancake party. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. Yeah. Fuck off. 5 days later, they were told they couldn't stream on Twitch ever again.
Yep.
5 days after that rant.
Oh,
dude, that's hilarious.
It is. But Taker's not wrong. That's what it comes down to. He's not wrong. At least I don't feel he is. People, need the chance to be competitive with one another. And that's what he said. Even though it was sports entertainment, people were competing. There was a competition between the guys to who wanted to be the champion, who wanted the screen time. I don't feel like that exists in the current locker room. I feel like everyone's like, oh, good job. We're all in this together, kind of buddy. And I'm not saying you want to be against each other. You want that camaraderie, but the hunger feels gone. That brass ring comment, where you hear The Rock, just give me a mic. Give me 10 seconds. Give me a mic. I need to talk. You hear Stone Cold, I'm going to lash out. I need to get this off my chest. You hear Mick Foley being willing to do anything to his body. People had ideas, brought them forward, presented them in such a way, and got themselves over because of it. When's the last time we've seen anything natural like that occur? Since Daniel Bryan, I think. Yeah. And even that came after so much resistance from WWE.
Only that mini version of the Daniel Bryan thing with Kofi Kingston when he was inserted into the thing. Those are the only two times we saw, the people.
Yeah, and even that was a very
short-lived,
small fraction, compared to previous. But guys, still good nonetheless.
Let me plug this real quick. Guys, listen. Me and Jake recorded 2 hours today, a 2-hour podcast. We talked about literally tons of shit. Undertaker on Rogan. We talked about phone calls. We talked about music. We talked about our chemistry together. We talked about politics, Blockbuster Video, Mortal Kombat, Mexican food, building a coffee table, Monetize This 300, your questions, and a bunch of other shit. We talked about it for 2 hours. It was crazy. Go download it. Listen to it on Patreon. We could use 50 more patrons. We have 305 patrons. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And tomorrow night is Monetize This 300. Do you not even watch Monetize This? What are you doing? Episode 300 is tomorrow night. There's 500 people here right now. We need 500 people at least for Monetize This 300. We need to get back to the 800 people. 500 people. Monetize This 300 tomorrow night. There's already tons of promos going on Twitter. We got stuff coming from me that you won't fucking believe. We get stuff from my wife. We got stuff from Jake. We got stuff from everybody on Twitter. People are making videos left and right. Drew is a hermaphrodite. Let's quite be honest there. We got people begging to be on the show. We got people telling me they'll come on the show if I pay them. It's crazy.
Look at that.
What? Who did that?
I said, look at that.
Oh, okay. I don't want to say who did it, but wait till you find out.
Demanding money already.
Wait till you see the DM I got, man. I mean, you talk.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I'll be on the show, but it's going to cost you. What? Fuck yourself. I don't know, man. You wouldn't, but there's so much crazy drama.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'm just saying a prominent person that you wouldn't, and it's not Tommy. I'll say it's not Tommy. But they were like, yo, I'll be on, but it's going to cost you money.
It'll cost you.
It's crazy. And then there's a bunch of other people with a bunch of crazy things. There's infighting going on everywhere. Dude, I may shave my head and my face and my eyebrows. I don't even know what's going to happen.
Yo.
The belt
It's
is
gonna
on the
get
line.
wild.
Dude, the Monetize This title is on the line. Do you understand this? The Monetize This belt is on the fucking line.
I want that title back.
Did you really get much time with the belt? Really? You had it for how long?
Couple weeks.
Yeah. You took it
We
to
were
an
able
event.
take it to 2 different wrestling shows, so it was cool.
Yeah.
I certainly got it a little bit more than some other people had the chance to, so I was very appreciative.
Even Bobbitt cut a promo today on Twitter, and he called himself the worst champion ever. He was like, and I'm the worst champion. I don't even think he's the worst champion ever. I think he was a sourpuss at the end, but he wasn't the worst champion ever.
He wasn't the worst. He had a good beginning.
Honestly,
it was
Jesse or Amanda?
humble beginnings. Yeah, I was just going to say Jesse and Amanda would be the two that I would consider.
The worst.
And Jesse knows I love him.
I love Jesse, but yeah, he was an asshole.
He just his vagina was bleeding that night.
Oh. The Monetize This belt on the line.
And UFC Saturday, Conor McGregor's return. That's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah! Saturday night, it's going down.
Excited. Then you got the Corrupted podcast after that. I mean, it just gets bigger and better. Then next Sunday, we've got the Rumble. And just so you guys know, I will be doing my yearly wrestle, my little pick'em contest where I assign you a number. I don't know if we're going to do it for the women's and the men's or if we're just going to do it for one, but we'll figure it out. But it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. And you'll win something if your number is picked. So,
and you will become insanely erect. Guys, if you want, if tonight, for some reason tonight, you want to get used to the new donation system, I got all these new donation things going on. If you guys would like to do the Perfect Sparrow link down below for if you just want to use PayPal or PayPal credit down below. If you need to use credit only, then you want to do either Super Chat or you want to do the Evil Spectrum 3 link. I believe all in the description box down below. So anyway, all those work. A couple different methods, bunch of different craziness going on, and I'm working on them for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of work, and then there's a lot of things to do and shoot and whatever else. Anyway, back to the wrestling news. But before we do that, there's a donation. Shit bomb! JCS foot rub.
You become a shit bomb.
What's up, shit bomb, baby?
Epic Undertaker interview. Did you like it, Cronin?
Oh, yeah. So I got to hear the whole thing. I was JCS foot rub. Thank you. Now, me and Jake talked about it earlier, but we only had heard about an hour and a half at that point. I've now heard the whole thing. I absolutely loved it. It really got much better after the 30-minute mark because they got settled.
Like we said earlier, Joe Rogan isn't a lifelong wrestling fan, so that's why Kill Tony being there was a great ad. As we mentioned earlier, a little preview to the podcast, we didn't even realize the eye socket or orbital socket thing happening. That's why Undertaker was wearing the mask. Like a bunch of little revelations like that were cool to have. But it only got better, and especially once they got to things that you don't hear him talk about often. We've heard the Eggman conversation. We watched The Last Ride, so we knew about the Boneyard being his last match and how that built up and, the end of his career. So we were familiar with most of these stories. And that's the thing, because you see The Undertaker, so few and far between, you want new stuff from him every time. So once you got into the 40, 45-minute mark, that's where it really started to delve into the new territory. And for the most part, it was really good.
It drifted in the last 10 minutes. So there's a sweet spot of the 40-minute mark to the 1 hour and 40-minute mark where there's an hour of fire. And I listened to the whole thing. And while I listened to the whole podcast, it took me that long to make this. Look, I was making this coffee table or end table. Whatever, more of an end table. I was making this end table during listening to The Undertaker and Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan, every time I see this end table, I'm going to think about listening to you, Joe Rogan. Okay? Put a little black and white on it. It's coming across nice. I think, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, by the way. So there's probably a carpenter out there. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. I just needed something constructive to do. So I put this thing together. I'm going to paint it white. I'm gonna paint everything else white, and these come off because I clipped it, and then I did pocket holes on the other ones. I was crazy. I was just loving it, listening to Undertaker, and then Tulsi Gabbard came on with Joe Rogan after Undertaker, and I'm still like, I'm fucking listening. Oh, thank God I had something to listen to while I was doing that today. It was a lot of fun. We got more donos coming in. Let's play those right now. The top dog is Gerald Armstrong, and he's a top dog.
He's chiming in, baby.
And Jake, he's got a top hog. Let me tell you,
it's a big one.
I'm in a weird mood.
Shit bomb!
You become
People are trying to save their money
shit bomb.
for Monetize This tomorrow night.
Super General plug incoming. Lots of stuff coming to the channel. Jake's in some of it.
Ooh.
Come hang out. Big love to Joe, Jake, and the chat.
Shout out to Spaz Phoenix and the Spaz Phoenix podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and just about everywhere else. Spaz is a good guy. Go listen to his show.
Spaz.
Cheers up, baby. I can't wait to hear it. Go listen to Spaz's podcast. It's great. And he's erect while he does it.
Shit bomb!
JCS Foot Rub.
You
Foley.
become a shit bomb.
Speaking of erect, JCS Foot Rub, all elite, chiming in with a $3 donation. Super chat.
This is
Thank
what the
you,
Foot Rub sounds like. Listen to this. Yeah. That's what the Foot Rub sounds like. No, you're not going to cheer that? You're not going to clap for that? Are you serious?
I'm just nope.
You're
Nope.
not going to clap for that, what I just did?
No.
You're a piece of shit.
No reaction for that one. No sell.
Well, let me give Spaz Phoenix the top dog spot. And also, we have to say, because he is, ladies and gentlemen, he is the
King of
king
the wheel.
of the Wheel of Funk. No, not Spaz Phoenix. It is the Himmel God. That's right.
Oh, yeah. The one, the only. Himmel God made his return. Thank you. Last Friday for saving the community, I guess, from Bullfrog being, unbanned. It was a possibility there for a while until Himmel God took over.
I was shocked to see him.
I was rooting for Bullfrog to make a return, honestly. Bring a little chaos back, but it didn't happen.
In a way, I kind of was too. And honestly, he kind of threw up a dud on Monetize This. And I think if he had been funnier on Monetize This, or if he had been, like, better, I think people would have been like, yeah, we got to bring him back. But so many times that he just kind of, like, said the worst stuff, and people went, ugh. And they were like, you know what?
I guess he redeemed himself on Corrupted. People said that was a better showing, but...
He did, yeah. And then, but it's like, dude, you missed your...
But too little, too late.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? You missed your fucking, the whole thing. Like, you had your chance to really do it. Give me the Himmel God music. Give it to me.
Hit me.
Hit me with the Himmel. Tomorrow night, Monetize This on Shame on News. My other channel. Get over there tomorrow night. We're not done. We got much more wrestling to talk about here. We're just... Good Lord. That screaming that I'm doing is insanely ridiculous.
That always kills me. Sounds like the darkness.
Sounds like I don't know, dude. I sound ridiculous. That's all I know. Speaking
the
of
way
Himmel
voting
God,
works, Bullfrog could win. He could win the belt tomorrow. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he could. It is a possibility.
Himmel God put out some pretty goddamn funny memes of himself when he won when he won the crown on Monetize This last week, and this is one of the things that Himmel God put out with his face on. Look at that, dude! It's the Himmel God. He actually looks like Alex Jones right there.
Oh my god, that's great.
Oh my god, dude! The Himmel God looks like Alex Jones.
Those face things are funny as hell when they work that well.
Oh my god!
It looks like Himmel God and Brian Alvarez had a weird Fiend baby.
There you go. There he is as the king right there, Himmel God. Yo, better recognize the Himmel God. And here's Himmel God, of course, with the Monetize This championship. And now, will he be able to reclaim that title Friday night on Monetize This?
He might be able to. You never know what kind of surprises he has in store. He could have worked out some deals maybe in the background. Maybe he's got something going on with Shell. She could be a sleeper agent.
Ooh, that'd be weird.
Right? Least you expected, but
I just want to say I'm so excited for Monetize This. We created Monetize This originally for me. It was me and my friend Chris and my friend Tommy C. And Jesse would jump on board soon after that. And it was Jesse, me, Chris, and Tommy C. And we started Monetize This. And it really became even funner. Originally, it was like, we'd go a couple hours. And then it really became this thing with the donations. And we started just giving points to each other on the show. And people started donating just for fun during the show. Like, oh, hey, give points to Leah. Hey, give points to Joe. Hey, give points to JB when he came on and stuff. And
it started off just to be like, who was the funniest? Every time somebody said something funny and you got a zinger, people would donate and be like, here's some points for that. And then it just kind of was escalated from there and expounded upon and became more of a competition and then got more serious. And people started to cut promos and it just got wild. And then the belt came.
Dude, we did 100. I don't know how many, but we did like something close to 100, like 60 to 80 episodes or something, where at the end of the episode we were like, "Hey, Jesse's the king of the points tonight. All right, good night, everybody." And just people were donating like crazy just for nothing. And then I was like, you know what would be really cool if there was actually something on the line. And that's when I came up with the belt. And then things went crazy. And so here we are, and then the wheel after that and all these things. So it's a lot of fun to be doing 300. This will actually be now my 100th episode, or maybe 105th or something, 105, something like that, in this house. And without Monetize This, I wouldn't be in here. I'd be probably looking for an apartment because my mother's selling her house. And we got into this house not only because of you guys and the show and Monetize This, but also because of the belt and the ideas of that, and of course because of Himmelgod putting it over, and people like Shell and Himmelgod and JDVenom and other people like that who really dropped a lot, but especially Himmelgod. I mean, my God. And now he is the king of the Wheel of Funk this week. And tomorrow night is Monetize This 300. We're talking about 9 years. 9 years of history of Monetize This. Tommy C went on to work with Keemstar, for Christ's sake.
I know. That was crazy.
Tommy NC went on to be on TV and then go viral, and he went on to meet up with Keemstar. Everybody who left me went to Monetize This went to Keemstar. I don't know why. And then did all these other things and got thousands of subs and stuff like that. So there's some energy here, and with the talent that has been around this show, and so that's just going to continue, man. It's going to be fucking crazy tomorrow night. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we can ever top some of the past, but at least we can keep carrying the torch as long as we can go until we burn somebody's house down. It'll be.
I know it's going to be a wild night for sure. I cannot wait.
I'm gonna bathe. I'm gonna bathe in the lactation of Leah's tits.
Ooh,
you know that?
I mean, I could just send you a video of Courtney blowing me if that'll get you through the night. But.
Yes, please do that.
You become
Please do that.
a shit bomb.
What up, JCS Foot Rub?
Jake, who is your favorite wrestler and who is your favorite AU wrestler? Romantic face.
Jake, who's your favorite wrestler? He said wrestler. Why did it read it like that?
I know. Isn't that funny?
Oh, no, he wrote an
wrestler.
A. No,
he had an A. Okay. Yeah. But still. My favorite wrestler. It always somehow comes back to The Undertaker.
Wait a minute. Was that...
pick one?
Wait a minute. Stop with 1 second, Jake. Don't say that yet. Was that Wrestling Jesus? Who's your favorite wrestler? Isn't that how fucking Wrestling Jesus talks like that? Wrestling Jesus, are you donating to me? I'm sorry. All right, go ahead, Jake.
Sounded like it. Yeah, it always comes back to The Undertaker. Like, I had a huge affinity for The Rock, especially even when he had his heel run. I was still a huge fan of The Rock, but it just always comes back to The Undertaker for me. It's hard to pick just one favorite, but he would certainly be at the top of the list. AEW right now, I especially love Eddie Kingston. He's one of my favorites on the promos. He just kills it every time. He'd be up there for sure. And I really like what Moxley's done with his whole character since changing himself from Dean Ambrose and going back into the John Moxley character. He's been pretty infallible. I mean, he's kind of just been Teflon and been wholly untouchable. The guy's gone ahead and had a stellar run so far with everything he's done between New Japan and AEW. He's really knocked it out of the park. So I would give him a lot of credit and have him be one of my tops too.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite all time is Shawn Michaels. And probably my second favorite for like the time that it happened was Stone Cold, I think. Because for number 1 would be Shawn Michaels, number 2 would be Stone Cold, and number 3 would be Hulk Hogan, I think. Only because my whole childhood I was obsessed with Hogan. It meant a lot. It got me into all this stuff that we're doing. Then I would get into Shawn Michaels, full on into Shawn Michaels. And then I would just go crazy for Stone Cold. And then when, after Stone Cold burned out after 3 years or so, I was able to relive Shawn Michaels again when he came back.
Yeah, because then he came back. So you got like the double rainbow.
Yeah, double rainbow. And with
price of one.
With the sexy boy music, it is a rainbow.
That's right.
So, that's my list right now. It would be definitely HBK, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, and then after that, it's probably like Bret Hart.
Like right now, I really like Drew McIntyre. He's one of my favorites on Raw. For the men on SmackDown, Roman is excellent. Love what Roman's doing. For women on the Raw side of things, they've ruined Asuka lately. Sadly, I was enjoying her beforehand, but I'm trying to think. Underrated is definitely Dana Brooke. I think they could do something more with her, but probably my favorite at this point in time would be I don't know. For SmackDown, it's easy. There's so many to pick from. I really enjoy what Sasha's done this past year. Bayley has been an amazing heel. Carmella, with her recent turnaround, has been entertaining. I really like Bianca Belair. Raw's just lacking. It's just push comes to shove. I'm certainly not going to pick Nia Jax. I'd like to say Shayna Baszler, but ever since they paired her with Nia and she's come up to the main roster, really
stifled.
She's just been ruined. She was amazing, not amazing, but she was really good. She was very technically sound and a real believable threat. She was kind of the female Lesnar for lack of a better explanation in NXT, and she served that very, very, very well. I don't know why they had such a hard time transitioning that to the main roster, but they ruined her. So.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch.
Here comes the Karens.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch.
People trying to save their money for Monetize This tomorrow night. The belt may go to someone we don't want it to go to, and we may need to conjure up a lot of money tomorrow night, right? That could be...
Yeah.
What if that happens?
Joe Cronin's facial hair tipped $6.90. Kill me.
Oh, the way
Spirit Infinity Roy, he says, for Raw women, let's rebuild Nikki Cross. I agree. She cut a hell of a kind of like half shoot, half serious promo.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I believe it was, that was showcased, and just being disgruntled with not being booked, and I can't argue with that. And she did a great job. She killed it.
Oh my God.
Let's see more from her.
Oh
just
my
like
God.
your facial hair.
Listen,
wants to kill itself. She killed it.
Thank you to my facial hair, but real quick, we gotta bring this up right now.
Uh-oh.
We gotta bring it up, baby, right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got a new member. We got a new member, Jake.
Oh shit!
You know what that means? When we get a new member, it's time for the Blumpkin Cunt Pussy Juice.
Here we go.
Hit me with it.
Oh my God, Tenorio 128 became a member.
You got that Blumpkin. You got that Blumpkin pussy juice. That fucking cunt, that fucking juice is on the loose. That pussy screws all of the men. Blumpkin, cunt, pussy, juice. Once it's in my mouth, I'll swallow all your juice. You got that Blumpkin, you got that cunt, pussy juice. That cunt is on the loose. That pussy juice.
that blumpkin guns, pussy juice. Nom 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 nom. Blumpkin guns, pussy juice. All I want in my mouth, I can't take all of it. It's dripping down my throat so wet. Blumpkin guns, pussy juice. Blumpkin cunt, it's all I want from you. I smell it from here, I smell it from there. I eat through your underwear. I nibble it up, I gobble it all. I make your pussy and your panties fall. I wanna withdraw your fucking cunt. Your diva meat is on my run. I fucking lick it up my tongue. Blumpkin, oh cunt, pussy juice. That's all I fucking want from you. Your blumpkin, your guns, your pussy juice. Oh, your pussy's the size of a goddamn moose. I want it so bad I can taste it from here. I wanna munch it, I will munch your rear. I will munch every part of you. 'Cause I want that cunt and blumpkin juice. Pussy juice.
All right, that was way too long. We can't do that for every member. That's not going to happen for every member.
No, we haven't done it in a
That's
while.
just
so we
too
had to
much.
celebrate.
I'm sorry.
And it's the night before Monetize This.
I'm
so we had to
guys, can you?
celebrate.
I'm starting to freak out for Monetize This. I'm gonna have a fucking explosion tomorrow night, and you never know.
Joe's getting hype.
You never know who is gonna show up tomorrow night on Monetize This. You never know who is gonna show up on Monetize This 300. You gotta make sure you guys know it's on my other channel. Make sure you're subscribed, or at least you go over there for tomorrow night, because tomorrow night Monetize This will be on Shame on News, my other YouTube channel, which is small. Not Corrupted Nation, Shame on News. You got to remember that. Not Corrupted Nation, Shame on News. Go sub it now. If you're on Patreon, you'll get an alert. But whatever. Anyway, thank you, though, for becoming a member. Tenorio, we will give you a quick little pumpkin if you become a member tonight, but I won't do the whole thing again. But yes, that was fun. Somebody donated $6.90. Cronin's facial hair. Great. That's got to go on the top of the thing now. Fuck me. I don't have facial hair. That's the problem. Somebody the other day asked the question again, like, dude, shave that. And I'm like, dude, my wife likes it. Or I would. I don't care. I'll leave it there. She sits on my face.
She enjoys it.
Yeah, like, literally will, like, I don't know why, rapes me because of it. Like, I don't know why. I think it looks like a rat's anus. Okay. Let's get back to wrestling. What else we got, Jake?
We got a lot. So Sting is set for in-ring debut at AEW Revolution. Announced earlier today, it's the Machine with those sexy lats. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks of Team Taz. They're going against their TNT champion Darby Allin and Sting.
Yeah.
In a street fight.
Oh, yeah. I'm just hyped up. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hey, hype it up, because Sting's coming back to action for the first time since what? Clash of Champions 2016, 17, whatever that was, where he got injured and collapsed in the ring. That's the last in-ring memory I have of Sting.
I feel like it was 2016, yeah, with Seth.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and see something better come out of this. This is likely going to be a cinematic match, and AEW Revolution is going to take place on February 26th, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, baby. Let's see what happens with Sting.
Before that,
well, how long do you think it'll be like the hot tag situation against these guys? Probably. Or?
No, I think it's going to be strictly cinematic, pre-taped.
Oh wow!
Because it's a street fight, I think they're going to do something like not quite a parking lot brawl, but something on location, and it's all going to be pre-taped because of Sting. It'll be purely cinematic.
Wow! All right,
that's
whole
my
cinematic
total guess with it.
Okay.
And it was 2015. All right.
Oh really? Wow. I was convinced it was 2016, so that's good to know.
I thought it was 16 too.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that because I didn't know either.
Chat's saying 15 though. So,
dude, at that time, I think that was still around the time I was going to the flea market with my trading cards, and I was doing my weird stuff. I don't know, that's funny. That brings back memories. When I first started the show and started doing a lot of things I started doing.
Yeah, 2016 was Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, I guess. So.
Oh. Okay. Wow, man. Was it really that long ago? Holy shit.
Didn't feel like 2015.
I mean, that's just so crazy how time has flown by.
Oh, I know, because that's when Seth had both titles. He had the WWE Championship and the U.S. title. So Cena beat him for the U.S. title, and then Sting came out to whoop Seth's ass, and that's when he got the issue with the buckle bomb, the spinal stenosis. So also speaking of AEW, they announced a main event for Beach Break Special. So we said already on that show that's coming up February 3rd, it's going to be just a special episode of Dynamite. We're going to get the wedding of Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, and then we're also going to have Britt Baker take on Thunder Rosa. So can't wait for that match. It was delayed. It was supposed to happen during their New Year's Smash shows, but Kenny Omega is going to team with the Good Brothers, his real best friends, not the Young Bucks, and they're going to take on the team of Jon Moxley, Pac, and Rey Fenix. So that 6-man tag is going to be the main event for Beach Break. That sounds like, quite the hell of a matchup there as well. So that show's shaping up to be pretty fun. Tony Khan said that he gives Kenny Omega 100% of the credit for everything happening with Impact, and said that if it wasn't for Kenny Omega, that none of this would happen. But he has no interest at all. He gave a very short, clear, concise response when asked if he has any will at all to purchase Impact, and he said outright no. He's just working with them right now, but he has
Oh my God, he buried them.
Yeah, he has no want to purchase Impact.
He fucking buries the shit out of him like, fuck no, I don't want to buy that.
As far as AEW next week, they announced that Chris Jericho and MJF are going to be teaming up next week to take on the Varsity Blondes. So that's when Chris Jericho and MJF are going to start their ascension in the tag division to build their name up to get a shot at the tag titles. So that's an interesting story for them to start telling. And then we got Britt Baker taking on Shanna. That's been added. Then we also have the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks. So, the odd couple teaming paired up here. How are they going to get along? And they're taking on the faces of the Dark Order. Plus, we have to see the fallout with that. What happens now since Hangman Adam Page said no. And one thing that I didn't really point out on the review, but it was hilarious when he said no and they immediately start cheering, clapping. They had dancers come out that Anna Jay is trying to shush back in. They have, confetti's going to start. The Titantron said he said yes. Yeah, all of that. I didn't really make note of that last night, but that was hilarious. I thought that was really well done. So
yeah, that was pretty funny. We really didn't talk at all about that part.
Yeah, because there was so much else that kind of overshadowed and outshined it. But it's like, I'm telling you, that was a hell of a moment for them, for him to say, I can't. And they're like, he said yes. So that was enjoyable. And so we'll get the fallout from that. And then we'll also see Cody answer Shaquille O'Neal's kind of vague threats, if you want to call it that. And then, which should be the main event of the night, but likely won't be, Eddie Kingston is going to go to war with Lance Archer. I am excited for that match, but I wish it was 2 weeks away, because I want to see Eddie and Jake go at it in a full-on promo battle. They just teased it the other day.
Right.
But yeah, Neo, the one we got, overburdened with everything else that happened in the show that really had to be brought to light. But that was a real positive with how they handled the Hangman reveal. I'm trying to see what else we got. Joe Biden's COVID-19 executive order could cause some issues for pro wrestling companies. So Section 5 brings up a spot about international travel and how it requires a recent negative COVID-19 test. And it is the policy of the administration, to the extent feasible, travelers seeking to enter the United States from a foreign country, they have to have a negative COVID test, and they have to comply with other CDC guidelines, including recommended periods of self-quarantine and self-isolation after entry into the United States. So that's one of the things that's changing, is that they might have to quarantine as a mandatory requirement when they come into the country.
Yeah.
So if Pac came here for a match on Wednesday, he'd have to come 2 weeks ahead of time so he can quarantine.
Huh.
Even if he has a negative COVID test, which I think is a ridiculous way to do it, but I get it. I don't think you should only have to do 7 days, not because if you have a negative COVID test at the beginning, 7 days and another one, I think you're safe.
Yeah, I mean, they're being overly cautious. I get it. That's what Biden would do, I guess. Yeah. You know what? You just triggered me onto something. Did you hear on the Undertaker? And by the way, I know we have donations. I'm going to play some more in a minute. Which is very nice of you guys to donate tonight when, Monetize This is going to be such a big donation thing, going on. I really appreciate the donations happening. Still, you'd think people would be like, I'm saving it for tomorrow, so you're still donating tonight. Thank you. And I do want to say, if you've never been a patron before, become a patron right now. Me and Jake just recorded a 2-hour podcast. We talked about so much stuff, and it's a weekly podcast. Plus, Drew's podcast with Jesse Off the Rails is up there too. And so much more, guys. You're going to get 30 hours of bonus content on Patreon a month, and we need your support. So we're 50 patrons, 2 below. We're 50 patrons off of what I need to be at. And we're about $200 off of what I need to be at. Usually I use Patreon to cover the big expenses. So check out Patreon and give us some love on Patreon. We'll be shouting out patrons throughout the week. We want to shout you out if you're new, especially. And if you become a $25 producer, we're giving all the producers special shout-outs tomorrow night on Monetize This throughout the whole thing. But you know what it just triggered me?
Hell
I thought
that's going to be great.
During the Rogan podcast with Undertaker, Rogan mentioned something about the time we're living in, and we have to look this up because I found it fucking fascinating. Because I was talking about how, like, there's all these different times and throughout forever. It's always this repeat. Like, we start seeing these repeats of, like, back in the day, you couldn't say certain things. Like, you could be arrested for a speech, or, you had to be proper this and that, and things didn't make any sense. And then there was this, like, rebellion, and then there was just evil, and then there was, like, you think about the hippies in the 70s. Then you think about the 80s and how eventually the 80s kind of went full, like, what anything goes. And into the 90s. The 90s really was like, fuck it. Like, we're
the
crazy.
90s was about, rebellion.
Shocking.
People
and
lived it up, yeah.
Yeah, being rebellious, shocking. And even into the early 2000s, like, the new metal. Like, dude, new metal and like, metal music was, like, mainstream again. Like, but so wasn't, like, shock music and shock rap and just crazy. And just shit was nuts in the late 90s to the, beginning of 2000s. And, like,
everything had an edge to it, basically.
Yeah, now we're going into full pussy mode of, like, oh my god.
Well,
don't
I feel
say
like
this.
things hit too far to one side. Like, it got a little too extreme for a while there, and too, degraded. So people went ahead and course corrected by correcting too far, and went too far to the other side now. So now they're too cautious and too censored, and that pussified generation.
Yeah, dude, like that, like
came to
the
forefront.
80s, dude. The 80s were awesome. The 90s were awesome, and even the early 2000s were awesome. And it's like, this is stupid. And Joe Rogan brought up that, I don't know if it was Hindu or in India or somewhere, they call this something, like, there's a name for this, and they say we're living in the cycle of, like, basically we go through these cycles, and he started laying out the cycles, and he goes, we're in the cycle right now of, like, confusion, where we don't know what the hell's going on or what we want to do or be, and we right now here are living in that time. And he brought up all the different
makes sense
palettes.
because it kind of goes with what Jesse says, like when you're in retrograde and that kind of thing, so we're in a certain period right now, and the general influence is everyone being confused. I could see that making sense.
Yeah, it was a real thing he was talking about, and I don't know the religion, or I don't know the theory or study. I forget now, but I quickly heard that little snippet, and I go, I got to research that later. I got to look that up, because that's definitely something that we do see. These patterns in history that repeat themselves. So if anybody knows what the name of that is, let me know. But otherwise, I'll probably hear it when I listen to Rogan again. Well, the 60s and 70s had feminism and some leftovers. Yeah, I mean, like, even in the 80s were very powerful for women. Like, women became very powerful in the 80s. They would dress like men, go to work. They were bosses. They would sort of, it was some of the first, like, really suits. Women would wear suits. It became, like, working women was a huge thing. And a lot of women in the 80s, guys, for the first time.
became business professionals.
And became better than their husbands. And in fact, I think there's movies. There's tons of movies where, like, the husband is, like, a failure. Stay tuned with, that was the 90s. It was, like, 1990 or something. But stay tuned with,
I've been trying to find that movie for ages now to show Danny, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
I have it on DVD. I can send it to you.
Figure.
I literally have it on DVD. And it was, what's his name though? Not God, I can think of his.
Not John Ritter, right?
John Ritter, yeah, John Ritter.
John Ritter.
So
okay.
John Ritter's husband, he was like a plumbing salesman failure. He was like could barely sell plumbing supplies.
Yeah,
and his
do no
wife,
good, nothing writer. One of those.
And his wife was like the one who paid for everything, like the businesswoman who did everything the real way.
And yeah, and he was the frivolous ones, shopping, spending all the money, buying things that are inappropriate. Thus, he buys the cable upgrade that
Right.
gets them in trouble.
And it's like, dude, but even 10 years before that was really the change where you saw women,
Yep.
Killing it. So like that was going on then. So now nowadays where they're like, women, you're just so you're held up, and women, you're left behind, and women it's not fair. It's like, good God, man, they killed it in the 80s. What are you talking about? Like, why are we gone backwards so much?
And that's the thing, because it's like we've already done this. We've already gone through this. We've already accepted this. People have already changed. Why are we going backwards and saying people aren't okay with these things, or people are, it didn't happen, And that's the thing that I have a hard time accepting at points.
There's there's a wrestling moment where I think Lou Albano's in it or something. There's a wrestling moment in the movie, and there's somebody else who's a wrestler who's in the movie too. I don't remember who it is.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
It's not as good as Hogan's cameo in Gremlins 2. You remember that? They walk in the movie theater in the business building, and Hogan's like, "You got to do something, brother!" Like, and he like cuts a promo about the Gremlins. It's so campy and horrible, but it's like I remember.
But it works for that era.
Well,
yeah.
but dude, I mean, it's like I was a huge Hulkamaniac, right? I'm a huge wrestling fan. Nobody watches wrestling that I know, right? Like nobody. And my mother is like, "What's up with you in wrestling?" Like, "Oh my God, he's obsessed with this wrestling stuff and Hulk Hogan and all these things." And nobody else I know likes wrestling. And there I am watching Gremlins 2 in the theater. And all of a sudden, like, Hulk Hogan comes on the screen and he goes, "Where are the Gremlins?" or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit. And then my mom's cracking up because my mom only knows that guy from wrestling. And here he is in this movie, and she goes, "Oh, that's hot." My mother's like, she's a goof. And she just gets a kick out of seeing this, like, "Oh, my son always watches this. This is hilarious." And what a funny moment. I remember that in Gremlins 2 in the theater.
Yeah, you get those, that pop culture crossover, and when they were able to transcend the wrestling business, that's what we're lacking. That's what we're not getting today.
No,
I think
who said
part of
that,
it
but
is Twitter. I think social media in general has really, the way that you're able to directly connect to the wrestlers at all points in times, and the fact that they can't have, like, I know they want to have their own account, but if I was a wrestler, I would be in character all the time. Jake DeMarco wouldn't exist. The wrestler would, that would be that because I would want that mindset to be.
Ooh,
and I guess it would get you in trouble eventually because you want to have your own personal Twitter, but it's so dangerous to ruin, your perception of yourself. And that's why Seth failed. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, the booking was bad, but his bitching online and going against the fans and everything that he opened his mouth with in all those interviews made people turn on him more.
And when you hear the stories of The Undertaker doing all that stuff to avoid breaking kayfabe in a hospital, and yet Seth Rollins is a face online fighting with fans, like, it's just like, dude, that's why Undertaker talks about, Undertaker called you all soft. That's one of the reasons.
Triple H tears his quad off the bone and allows Jericho to put him in the walls of Jericho and then finish the match. But as we said before, you see somebody like Sin Cara break his pinky finger and call off the match.
Help. Yeah. Look at this, Jake. Look at this quote.
You see people doing minor injuries and not being able to compete, and it's like, here are these guys. And I'm not saying you should break your body and keep going with the match. That's why they have guidelines and they change things today. But you don't have to kill yourself in the name of proving that you're tough. That's not my point. But the dedication to the business is gone. The drive that people used to have to want to excel doesn't seem to be there. Everybody feels like, I watched wrestling in the Attitude Era and I was the biggest fan, and now I'm going to be a wrestler because I want to be the champion because I watched WrestleMania. That feels like almost every wrestler to this point.
Yep, it's dead on. You're right.
There's no characters. They're all lacking motivations. That's why when Bayley turned heel, it fit because she was always the wrestling fan character. So now she became a heel and went against her ways, and it was a nice change. I like the direction that they took. Same thing with Roman. It doesn't always have to be a heel turn either, because when Daniel Bryan turned face recently, it was a successful face turn, and it worked well for him because he's been in that tutor role. He's been passing on his knowledge to other wrestlers and putting people over, and it's a good spot for him currently. So there are things to work, but you have to have it with people that actually give a damn and care about their character enough to want to try. We're just lacking that, and it's disgusting. Orton's trying, and that's just kind of the example of bad creative. You know, that thing's been all over the place, and a lot of people are giving them crap for the story going off the rails. Conan especially was going on saying, I used to love the Firefly Funhouse, and now it's just starting to lose me. I think this week really went off the rails. And he's right, you know. Like I said, I the Fireball thing, and I liked Orton's promo. It was a bit long, but the burns, they'll heal, so it's not something they have to keep long term, but it gets him the chance to go ahead and wear the mask in the meantime. It works, but it's not what the Fiend was originally. I don't think they'll ever get back quite to that prominence he had, unfortunately. You don't really care for any of it, though, at this point.
Not really, no. I enjoyed the fire they did the other time, though. That was fun. The Inferno was fun. F. Gunn, Jake, says, good times create weak men. That is so perfect because it's happened in everything, even wrestling. Good times create weak men. Create everybody weak, really, but...
Yeah, that's God's honest truth, and that's why I said I was really hoping that AEW would be more of a threat to WWE. When they originally launched and they had that over the million viewers, it was like a 1.4 or something that first week, and Raw was at like a 2 something, and we're like, oh, here we go, AEW could really, and it just never got to that level. But I was hoping WWE would not panic, but start to sweat again and feel it. All of a sudden, they started to procure talent. They're locking people down. They're getting all their contracts in place, putting in 5-year deals, taking away third-party, options. They're doing things to prepare for the change, but they didn't really feel pressured to do so. They just did it because they're smart business people. I was hoping that the threat of AEW looming over them, and this could ruin your business, would be there. Unfortunately, AEW isn't at that level yet. Could they get there? It's possible. I don't see it happening soon, but doesn't mean it won't happen. But WWE needs that Monday Night War again. They need that straight up heartfelt competition, because competition breeds creativity. They're so complacent right now and set in their ways, and they feel so comfortable because they have a set audience. They've got their set income, especially because they're not touring. They're just focused on what little things they do have, and they're kind of just keeping their stories at a low and at a minimum, and they're saving their stuff for when they go back on the road. Well, you're losing all your fans in the meantime, and when you go back on the road, no one's going to pay for tickets because you turned everything into a shit show.
Yeah, Vince said he doesn't want to create stars. I mean, that really comes down to that, too, Pocket. You're right, Pocket. He said that, and it's weird. Truthlock says this, which goes along with the weak men thing. People were going after the establishment. They introduced identity politics to have people fight and not unite. It's weird. It started during the Obama presidency that everybody started fighting all of a sudden. And then it got worse, and then they elected Trump, and then it went off. And it's like, I don't know why, but it really feels like the elites, the deep state, or the people above us somewhere that we don't know what they are, purposely brought this weird shit division and is creating this chaos for us to all, here guys, play and have fun, because they were starting to question us over here. Here guys, have some fun, play with these... a fucking dog is a female wife, and like all these just here fight with each other with ridiculous things. Ha! Like it really feels like somebody set that up so we would all be fighting with each other about ridiculous stuff. If they preoccupy
everybody and make everybody focused on attacking and taking out one another, then they can do what they want uninterrupted.
Yeah, and they've been
unopposed.
Doing that. They've been doing it, and it's crazy. And you knew that. I also said they would come after YouTube years ago, and every year they take another chunk about YouTube away, or another thing away, or a way that you can easily be canceled,
censored, or another adpocalypse, another issue. Absolutely
crazy, man. I don't know what to do, and I'd love to try to run to be president to help save all this stuff and figure out what in the world is going on and be the JFK. But the dirt on me would be. Even though I was acting, it was a show, it's not real. whatever you want to do, they'd just tear me apart. They'd probably kill my family. So
You donated
Oh!
$50. I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated
Damn.
$50. You donated $50, motherfucker boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Starship tipped $50. We built this city on rock and roll.
we built this city on my. Yo, Starship. Oh my God, who is Starship? Starship,
My hero.
captain of the Starship Enterprise. Commander, shields up, my bunghole.
Well, you have some.
Wow, man, Starship, man, thanks for $50. Not even monetize this, Jake. What the hell's going on?
I know.
Did
We're
you
getting,
just donate that?
Getting some bombs dropped on us.
Whoa! Starship's going to the Starship. You just became
The top dog.
I don't think
Starship.
anybody's topping that tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
fuck boy. That's right.
Starship took it over. It's not even monetize this. Thank you, Starship.
Michelle saying, "Oh shit, she knows."
She knows the real deal. Here comes some more.
I'm gonna come for that belt, Joe. I'm gonna fuck that belt. I'm gonna take that belt. I'm gonna stuff it up your asshole. Yeah, finish it now.
Hey Joe, I need a clarification for the points tomorrow night. So $1 equals 1 point. Are any certain people banned from winning the belt?
Yes.
Also, will there be the double points thing for the largest donation? Also, can we give negative points?
Yes. Tomorrow, negative points are playable. Also, there will be double points. I haven't announced what donation amount is double points yet.
And are you keeping it just at that amount, or are you doing it where it can people that donate higher than that can still change the double points?
We're probably going to do it at a certain point, like a
Okay,
certain
so you'll
amount.
announce it when it's changed, just for
Yes.
clarification.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
probably do. Well, what you said is true. Yeah, probably like if it's so. Yeah, if the double points are at $50,
And I donate 75, and I say I want this to be double points. I
Yeah.
can do that then.
you can then change the double points to whatever you want as long as
Okay.
you beat it out. Yeah,
All right, that makes
the
sense.
old rules apply. Yes.
Just want to make sure because somebody did ask me that earlier on
That's a
Twitter
great-
as well, and I said I wanted to clarify. So.
No, that's a great point. We, definitely will be that. Who was that asked? Who the hell said that? Oh, bombarding Joe. Oh,
Bombarding Joe with
Jesus.
questions. Yes.
You know what it is? Joe.
I couldn't.
No, Joe is attached to
Yeah.
bombarding.
I thought it said bombardier at
Yeah,
first. So
well, I
don't
thought it
feel
was
bad.
that too, but because it's all together, dude, I can't read words when they connect. I just can't do it.
Somebody before in the chat said, who's a larger than life superstar in AEW? And Maj said Nyla Rose. Great point.
He's big. He is. She is. She is. Make sure you call her she.
She is. Yes, definitely.
But no, I more to answer on this. Yeah, nobody is, as long as it's somebody that's around that's going to be able to take the belt. Like you couldn't say like they made everybody who made a video, everybody who's on the show.
Anybody that basically made an attempt to say I want the belt, so long as it's somebody that's willingly
Right.
involved and wants to have the title. We don't want anybody that
Yeah, like you couldn't
gets
say
nominated and says, "Oh, I don't want the belt." That
yeah, like
avoiding that.
you couldn't give points to like, let's say it's, and there's going to be a pot. So if you give it to someone that's not a thing, it goes in the pot. Like if you said like, I'm still messaging JB even. I'm even messaging JB. I haven't heard back from him yet. I'll have Leah do it. He'll probably respond to her since he wants her pussy hole. And
Aren't they playing WoW together still?
something. So if I say to JB, yo, do you want anything to do with this belt at all? He hasn't made a video. He hasn't said anything. He won't be here. So so I would probably say JB's actually off the table, as sad as that is, because he left the show a while ago and he's not really around and he may not want. So like then if you were like, oh, JB, I don't care. Well, it's going to go in the pot then. You know what I mean? It's got to be
because
someone
it's
who's
not
active.
somebody that wants to be involved.
Yeah,
and
they
that's just
made
just
videos.
saying.
Yeah. Or we'll just put it in the pot. You know, that's all. If you're trolling with like, oh, give it to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, that's going to go in the pot. Yo, give it to Coop the Comedian. You know, somebody who fucking wanted to end your channel. You know, like, I mean, it's going to go in the pot. So, yeah.
Hell yeah, Gorilla Strong. You can cut a promo. Anybody can cut a promo.
Yeah.
Monetize This 300.
Gorilla, you count because you could be in the chat being like, it's me, Gorilla. I want the belt. It's me, Gorilla. What's up, guys? Try, drop.
You're active and actively participating.
Yeah, and you're not like a troll or a psycho or something. Yeah, you're going to be fine. And people will back that. Yeah, of course. You'll be fine, Gorilla. But yeah, cut that deal. We'll try to get, I'm going to do my best to get, if you have a video or something you want to say or you want to get on, I'm going to do my best ever to get everybody on. It's going to be nuts. You know, Monetize This 100 was so crazy. That was where the alien guy was born because he was so mad because I missed a lot of calls. It was fucking crazy.
We had so many calls.
It was
one of
nuts.
the times I had called in and didn't get on. You know, shit happens. Calls happen. And you're like, oh, you know, everybody's so inundated. It was a busy night. And he made a cake to like celebrate the show, and it turned into this whole just oh, it is classic. I'll give you that much.
Yeah. So it'd be cool if I would love JB to be there, but you know, again, he's busy. He's got something at work going on. I did ask him already, and he said, "Man, I would." He actually said he would come, but he can't because he's got something at work. So that very night, so he can't do it. But listen,
damn,
it's too bad. But a lot of people have left the show. You know what I mean? Like it's like Tommy won't come on at all anymore. You know, so there's nothing I can do about that. You know, Tommy listens to a lot of junk, and so he won't come on. There's a lot of people, but Famous B, if you're out there, hit me up. I message him. Famous B probably that guy's been dying for the belt forever. I'm sure he wants to be in the running somehow. Take that belt to like Lucha Dingle Party and stuff it up his anus, you know? My wife thinks she's going to get it. Drew thinks he's going to keep it. Like anybody wants to see that. Jake, you probably want to wear it in front of your wife nude.
Absolutely. After the amazing sex we had the other day, I want to wear nothing but the belt now.
How much to get Leah in a Batgirl outfit?
Now we're talking. She's already got the poison ivy, so now you got to make her Batgirl.
Leah in a Batgirl. You can ask her. Probably $10,000. Like, because literally she doesn't want to do it. So I don't know. Getting Leah in a Batgirl outfit?
You'd really have to.
Man.
Robbing banks, you'd have to rob a bank, probably. Did you hear this? Jonathan Coachman was on Fish Fillet's podcast this week, and he said that he often had to ride with Vince on his private jet. And the way he says this quote, it's so odd. I understand what he means, but he said, for several years, I was very close, even physically with him. Now, I know what he means. He means, you know, close in physical proximity. But the way he says it, it sounds like he was sexual with Vince. So I'm going to tend to believe him and Coachman had a lot of sex. So Vince and Jonathan hooked up a lot on these planes. But it would add to the story because he says that it sucked to ride with Vince on the airplane. And you figure, oh, it'd be great. No, Vince was very uptight. And that was the only time that he would drink. So he would get drunk drinking red wine, get 3 sheets to the wind, and be a bit of a prick. And then you weren't allowed to sleep. He said, so you're over in Nebraska somewhere, flying back to New York. The boss loves his red wine. You're dead tired, and you're flying. And you're like, you got to be kidding me. I can't sleep right now? You couldn't. You're not allowed. Not unless Vince sleeps.
Holy shit. On the private plane, or what is he talking about?
On their private jet, yeah. I mean, these are... undoubtedly some of the more funny, you know, things that we've heard. Vince, he hates the sneezing and, you know, all these kind of things with him.
Do you think it's because he's scared of flying, or like because he can't keep himself, he needs other people to be awake to be like, oh, let's do anything to keep him.
I think he just views it as a sign of disrespect. Like you're going to sleep on his time. That's how I viewed it.
What the hell else would you like? What the fuck? You're on a plane.
I know.
I mean, maybe
flying
he
back,
can.
You don't have time on the ground. You know, you should be resting in the air.
I mean, I guess he considers it hangout time or something, and you're like, you're gonna go to bed now.
That, or it's just rude that, you know, if the owner isn't sleeping, then you better not be sleeping either. I guess, but still, just of all those Vince-isms, that one was rather bizarre. Another Vince-ism was that when, you know, we've heard how Freddie Prinze Jr., the you know, former teen movie star and all that, you know, romance heartthrob for teen girls, he was specifically hired for the WWE creative position to write for Alberto Del Rio. Vince had very, very, very big plans for Del Rio, which we knew.
Wow,
He gave him the Rumble.
Loved him.
And we heard it for years that he was in love with Del Rio and he wanted to do so much with him. And Ricardo Rodriguez was only supposed to be there on the night of Del Rio's debut. But Vince loved it and laughed so much that he ended up, keeping him there. And that's why Freddie stayed there for 5 years, he said, because he ended up liking it and, the way everything worked out. But he was specifically hired just to write for Del Rio. I thought that was pretty funny.
The Freddie Prinze?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea that he was. I mean, I knew he
I
was
didn't
a
know
writer,
either.
but I didn't know he. Why? What the hell is Freddie Prinze going to do with Del Rio? Like, here's out of.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it so just baffling at the same time as it's really intriguing. But maybe because of his acting background, he felt like he could add something to his character. I'm not sure, but it was odd. Something I definitely wanted to bring up. Another thing is that Joey Ryan, he won a lawsuit.
What?
He won a lawsuit. He won against Alley Cat. You know what? So that proves
What are you talking about?
that proves that she didn't actually, she was lying, and she didn't. No, what happened is they didn't serve her properly. She didn't respond in time. So basically, the case is it doesn't get thrown out, but it's a default judgment against Alley Cat. So Allison can go ahead and she can reopen the case and she can fight it in future cases if she wants to. But she has no desire to, and she's not responsible for any of that $10 million at this point. And the attempts were made to serve Alley Cat with these documents, but they were unable to personally give her those papers. So therefore, she was never properly served, and that's why she never responded to the lawsuit.
Wow.
Now, Impact, Anthem, they obviously have better lawyers with all the the stuff that he was suing them about. So. Theirs was also, like, in a sense, a default, but it got just, thrown away and disregarded. Alley Cat doesn't have those type of high-paying lawyers, so obviously she wasn't going to be able to fight the case. But there's nothing to fight at this point. She just let it go. So he's acting like it's this huge victory, but really it's just a no contest. Priscilla Kelly.
That's hilarious. He's running around like, see?
He's acting like he's vindicated and like this proves everything.
Oh
it's
my
ridiculous.
God. That is wicked funny. Like, oh my God.
Hey, I know you and Jake talked about this recently, but could you two potentially lay out a time span of when you all think you could do a updated Remembering WrestleMania podcast? It would be WM30 through WM36.
Debe's Hungry Dog.
Thanks.
We actually talked about it on our podcast we did earlier. We did a 2-hour podcast tonight, but I'll give you the answer. We did talk about it, but we basically right around WrestleMania, a few weeks before we'll release it. I think.
Yeah, right before we'll end up doing it. So
You become a shitbomb.
Thank you, sir, for the donation.
that like 3 week before build up.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere in there, but yeah, it's coming up, and we'll definitely do it. I think we're gonna rewatch them, which will take a while. So take us a month or two to watch them.
And thank you, Foot Rub. We appreciate you chiming in with another $4 super chat. And another thing I was saying before is that Priscilla Kelly, she went ahead and got to pick her new name in WWE. She's now in NXT. She signed an NXT contract.
Ooh.
And she's now known as Gigi Dolan.
It's easy for people like Taker and Austin to call out these guys when they are being handcuffed by Vince and always getting pushed aside for has-beens like Goldberg and Triple H.
But maybe if these stars nowadays fought harder to be bigger stars,
they'd be fired.
They wouldn't. Well, maybe. Or maybe Vince would see it as a way of like someone finally stepping up, and he wouldn't have to feel like he needs to rely on Triple H and Goldberg.
Shit bomb! Thank you, Nick Grasso.
You become a shitbomb.
Nick Grasso with the $14.99.
I'm winning the rant line and the 100 points tomorrow.
Ooh.
We want the gold sucker. We always get it done.
Whoa. Well, Will Tactics is looking to win a rant line or a promo. Whatever you want to call it. Promo, rant line, whatever. Everybody who agrees it's the best one will get an extra 100 points. Will Tactics throwing his name in the hat. And I saw his rants have been pretty good. So wasn't Bodark's. A couple people had really...
yeah, there's been some really good ones recently.
Nice.
You become
nice ones.
a shitbomb.
Nice ones.
300 turkeys shall get eaten.
300 turkeys shall get eaten. Eat them all up, JCS Foot Rub. Leon Kennedy in the chat says, where are your prank call videos? Those are funny as hell.
Yeah, they're throughout the channel for sure.
I'm sure based on the amount of alcohol I drink tomorrow night that we'll be in for some sex line calls. Adult
might
line
just have
calls.
to happen. And Neo said Priscilla never signed with AEW. No, she didn't. That was just
You
independent
become
dates.
a shitbomb.
Who's your favorite reseller in AEW, Joe? Romantic face.
JCS Foot Rub, I would say favorite wrestler in AEW would be Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin, and then after that I'd probably, I don't know, like Eddie Kingston because of his promo. And then probably Jericho. I know
some people weren't happy with my pick of Kingston because he's not great in the ring. I think he's still pretty damn sound in the ring. I think he had a great match against Moxley, and he's had some other pretty decent showings as well. So depends on who he's working with.
Snack on me like a dirty little turkey.
Ooh.
Yikes. Jesus Christ.
Take a big
what
bite
the
out
hell?
of your goblet.
Oh my God, Glorious. What's wrong with you?
Glorious wants me to give him the stuff.
What kind of blue chew did you take tonight? The hell's going on over there?
You horny
That's how you got the
bastard.
total party.
Yes, bring your horny people to me.
Speaking of horny people, this is a
Courtney said if I picked up Blue Chew, she wouldn't let me near her. So.
Oh, really? The Blue
I
Chew?
guess that's a no-go.
Well, I just wanted to say that, speaking of horny people, this was sent to me, and, I'm not one to talk. I've said some pretty, crazy things. But speaking of horny people, this was tweeted out by several hundred people the other day from JD.
And then Ricochet, obviously, good luck on that 4-year deal, bro. Good luck. Your handcuffs are as tighter as a fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
Had me laughing my ass off when I heard it. I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was, as inappropriate as people said it to be. Oh, it's a pedo line. Oh, I don't think so. It's a joke.
It is a joke.
It's
a little weird.
It's a little weird, but it's still funny.
It's fun. It's a joke. I mean, it's fun. Well, it's funny to you because you voted for Biden. You love little kids being raped, so you're
especially according to Rose. Yeah, that's right.
No, that's just what it is. You voted for Biden. You like You like rape. You like the idea of kids being taken.
Well, Trump's the rapist. No,
Biden is sniffing kids. Trump looks for older women.
I don't know.
Although he did pardon all those people who were involved directly in Harvey Weinstein's island, so
exactly.
That's a little weird. I'm gonna put you in the thing. Oh, never mind, you're pardoned now. Oh, I got pictures of me and Harvey Weinstein, and now I let the people go that are key factors in it. A little strange, and we still aren't talking about the bitch who's in jail. Who knows what will happen? How long until they like craft some other woman they've abducted to look like the woman who should be going to jail for all the trafficking or the whatever stuff on the island, and then she gets to run away somewhere, and then they ditch her. They fry her brain and they program her, or a robot. Wait till they can get robots to look like you or me. Dude, that's all it's going to take. All it takes is them to craft robots and skin and grow it. That's your DNA on a robot's face. And then they can say when they do something bad or a big time person does something bad, they can literally just put make it look like the robot's going to prison. And then once all the videos and everything's over, just ditch the thing or whatever. And then the other person
so
just
like a Judge
away.
Dredd type idea where, they clone and then just the DNA is what gets you sent away. But they go ahead and they never actually go to prison. They just have their clone do it for them.
Right, exactly.
Hey, you never know.
No, I'm not.
Think about deep fakes.
Right.
How could you even tell? If you only watch it on a TV monitor, how do you know what you're seeing is legitimate? You just showed me Himmelgod before on somebody else's face, you know?
Right.
Who's to say that it wasn't real? Obviously, we know it's fake, but on a first viewing, you don't know for sure.
What was that?
So they could use
16-year-old
that.
virgin's pussy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone was...
Fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
Now that's a donation.
Fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
JD, what would you rather have for dinner? Your cat or, you know?
Fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Yo, what did Nicky T feel like, JD?
As a fucking
Oh, my God. What did Nicky feel like?
16-year-old virgin's pussy.
Oh, no. Hey, what's it like when you go down on your cat?
As a fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
Oh, come
JD,
on, man.
When we
Stop it.
met with Matt Hardy and, you know, I got you deleted, you went ahead and you grabbed my ass. You stuck a finger up there. What'd you say?
Fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
You know, why in the...
Whispered that in my ear and you never call me back.
I heard you're going to go to jail, JD. Why is that?
As
why
a
is that?
fucking 16-year-old virgin's pussy.
Oh, no, okay. All right. Relax. Relax, JD. Relax. Calm down.
What'd you say, Mr. Cease and
down.
Desist?
Good God.
Ricochet's contract lasts until 2024.
Yeah, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on.
So he definitely is
Listen, he's
handcuffed.
not wrong. You take away the 16 thing, that's a little weird. And listen, I've made jokes too that I've made jokes where I'm like later on I'm like, oh, probably shouldn't have said that. That's weird. I also think it changes when you have kids. I'm honest. I'm serious about that.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but when you don't have kids, you make a lot more jokes about kids. Like, because I still make jokes about kids now. But like,
yeah, I make
there's
jokes, but I don't
something
really
that
talk about virgin's pussy because my mind immediately goes like, "Oh, my daughter." I don't want to think anything like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
so
you know,
my kids. Like,
I would straight at that. Yeah, but there's certain things. It's
So
not like it's off limits for me. I can laugh at a joke. You know,
Yeah,
I
listen,
don't think anything should.
The guy
held
is
back.
joking. He's not a pedo. He's none of that. It's a joke. It was, you know, whatever. It's weird, kind of.
How much he loves pussy.
He loves vagina, multiple vagina at once too. Let him be. Leave him alone. Stop it.
16 is legal.
Stop. You know how bad they're trying to cancel him though. Every
Oh,
day,
they
they play the N-word clip. They play the other clip. They play the other thing. It is kind of funny. It's kind of amazing that like all the people that have actually had like I've had more problems than JD, and like the people that come after him.
More problems too, to be fair, but
yeah, thousands though of people just tweeting that everywhere and just going crazy and like just nothing. It's just like fuck you.
He somehow manages to remain unscathed most often. Even when the Alexa Bliss stuff happened, he was a public name for a bit, but he stayed under the radar. He had no repercussions come his way. Nor should he have.
No, absolutely not. That's why I defended him in that video. I think that's worse. That's worse than the Alexa Bliss thing. The Alexa Bliss thing, he was just ranting about Alexa. He was like, listen, she's a fucking corpse in bed. Like, that's fucking fine. He wasn't bullying her or saying that to her. He was saying that in a rant. No big deal at all. She reacted like an idiot because she's an asshole, obviously, or something. And to a name that was like gay homo something, it was like clearly a homophobic name, and she still was like, or a fake name, you know, and she's still like, oh, that's funny, like let me respond to that, instead of looking at it and being like Conan and being like, oh, this is one of those cancel people trying to get this guy in trouble because he ranted on me. And while I find that gross what he said, you know, I'm going to make a big deal out of it and try to get him attacked. And then he got attacked and he got bullied. This is different. I think this comment's more, you could criticize this comment more because it's involving,
if you really wanted to.
Because he's joking about underage girls. Like, that's weird. Like, but like,
Blondie said, I would assume a 16-year-old would be tight. No, well, I wouldn't know. My uncle took my virginity.
Oh my God. I mean, that's actually the age when I lost mine. I was the same age as her. We were both 16.
Wow, there
now
you
that
go.
I think about it. Or I was 14. I might have been 14.
I was 13. I was young.
I think I was 14. I was 14. Okay, whatever. I was 14. I mean, I don't even want to say it because they'll get clipped.
Yeah, right. Oh God!
But
You said it.
I was 14, so it was okay. I was 14.
Oh, what are we saying?
That I was before the girl. She was 14. I was with her, but I was 14.
Oh, they're gonna clip.
I was
all the way
all the way in. But
Inside
I was 14.
Oh my God.
In her parents' house, they were like 40. And I was in 14, and I'm 14, and my dick was hard, and I was 14.
At least you were hard.
I remember the carpet was weird in the house.
I wasn't hard, but my uncle made sure that wasn't going to happen.
Awandi goes, I was 9. What the fuck? Are you serious? Dude, did you bet? Like, what were you doing? Like, what's going on here, Awandi? Good Christ almighty.
You never know if he's kidding or not.
I don't know what he's saying. Wait till Monetize This tomorrow night. What happens?
Ready for 300, baby.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Cause Karens are shit.
Yo, Shell.
I want to be top bitch. Oh, I mean, top dog. Yeah, that's it.
What's up, Shell? Oh, she wanted. Oh, I get it. She dropped the 20 to be top dog. And
Yeah, she was
fucking.
trying to be top dog. She says, I want to be top. Oh, I'm a top dog. That's right.
You were so close, Shell. Starship.
That's what she said earlier in the chat. Now my donation sucks, and now I understand what
No,
she means.
she's still great because that's very nice. Thank you,
Hell
Shell.
yeah.
She's got a. I'm sure she's like, shit bomb. I gotta save a couple bucks for tomorrow night.
You become a shit bomb.
I respect Becky and Roman for staying off Twitter when they are on it. They are in character. Most wrestlers should be like them.
That's why Mustafa Ali, Becky Lynch, there's a few of them out there that are excellent. I give all the members of Retribution really a lot of credit for keeping up with them nagging at people. And even though they lost their way with WWE and not being the destroyers of the company like they were supposed to be, they still keep up the idea of their identity on Twitter and attack other companies. And, you know, they go into it with AEW and win or lose. I mean, they lost the other day to Sammy Guevara, no doubt. That was funny, but they still at least keep it up and stay in character. But that's something I appreciate from, you know, everybody that he mentioned. It really does, especially Becky. She was stellar when she was taking on what's her name, the MMA girl. I can't, Ronda Rousey. Jesus, I couldn't think of her name. When she was taking on Ronda Rousey, building into WrestleMania, she had some amazing tweets tearing apart Ronnie. It was hilarious, you know, and she was constantly in character then. It really worked. But then you get the people who just either drop the act or they do it, you know, where it's like 60% them, 40% character, and it's very awkward.
Yeah, it throws you off because you don't know which one is which and what's going to happen and whatever else. By the way, this just in for Monetize This tomorrow night, Jake. The Himmel God has said, who is the king of the wheel, the king of the wheel of funk this week. Tomorrow night, Monetize This. Himmel God has said, Monetize This 300 is coming. Himmel Negan is ready to dish out some punishment. With that said, shit. I'm bringing along with me a very special guest, and she's thirsty. Tomorrow night, some lucky son of a bitch will get the honor to meet my guest up close and personal. And he says SOBs. So
multiple. So
it has been hinted.
He's bringing Lucille with him, it seems like.
Well, Himmel God has been hinting at his donations are going to be negatives to take people out.
Yeah, he's going to be taking people out. So who's going to be the lucky sons of bitches to get destroyed by the Himmel God tomorrow
night?
Dude,
he's tweeting more stuff. Look at this. Can you feel it? What does it mean? Those who know their Monetize This history know what it means. My God. A storm is brewing.
Do you remember? I remember.
Still remember. Speaking of remembering, there is the luxurious belt by, I can't believe it, he's calling the show during Out of Nowhere, but Gatekeeper Drew is calling the show.
You would call him the current Monetize This champion.
No, he is the guy who holds the Stanley Cup or whatever. He's the vessel carrier. Drew, what up, baby? You got that belt? Are you ready for tomorrow night, you sexy beast?
You ready to hang up on me? Or are we going to do this, like men?
Don't even do this. People, you homo. Don't even go there. Don't even do it.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Don't
ready,
do it.
man. I'm ready to go. This has been 3 months in the waiting.
Yeah.
I've been really excited for this for a long time, and hey, we're just inside 24 hours now, so it's going to be fucking awesome tomorrow night.
Well, I just want to let you know here now that tomorrow night on Monetize This, I have a special weapon.
Were you just showing his tweets a minute ago? Is that what it is? You're relying on him again?
Oh, no.
Kind of like rely on your co-host.
I have a special weapon tomorrow night. I have an ace in the hole tomorrow night. I mean, this is Don Callis level type of shit.
Visible hand, huh? Joe's making some pretty big proclamations here. Some mighty fine threats. You know, it's nothing. Utmost respect to you both, but can't forget former champ here too.
I think Himmelgott is going to make it impossible for you to hold on to that belt. Now, I have a huge ace up my sleeve that nobody has any idea about. People aren't even going to believe what I'm about to unleash tomorrow night. Like they aren't even.
If you think I didn't come to tomorrow night with my own ace in the hole, you got another thing coming.
Oh, you got an ace in the hole. It's your wife. You have your wife's mangled dick that's under her fucking body because she's a hermaphrodite that sticks into your asshole as you play woman. That's what you have. That's the ace in your hole.
You are mutating into D. Welsh minute by minute. You seem you're picking up.
Oh,
his
yeah.
Fucking
2 + 2 is 4.
warrior.
2 + 2 is 4. Nope, not D. Welsh. Sorry, nice try. 2 + 2 is 4.
Your fucking chin has been sinking in the last couple weeks. Now you're stealing his family insults. That's
your
great.
cone head can't fit those headphones. Get some new headphones. Look at the space.
No.
Look at the gaps between those headphones on your head right now. Pew! Your top of your brain is smushed into the skull. You sack of
I
shit.
have a brain. Because look, man, you spend your entire night in the basement 7 nights a week while your wife plays video games. Woo.
What the hell does that? Is that supposed to be an insult, retard? Is that supposed to be an insult to me?
That's supposed to be an
What's
insult.
your wife doing right now? What's your wife doing right now?
She's still cleaning up the cum off of her chest.
There's no cum on her chest. Don't be like TonyFromReveah. My wife loved my girl. Yeah, my girl, I did this. Then 5 minutes later, she comes in and yells at him. That's what you sound like right now. Guys who try to be tough, like they bang their girl every night and they're having they control everything. You ain't a tough guy. You a Nancy bitch. You're a Nancy bitch. And I made it so easy for me to win that belt back, by the way. Because I got rid of anybody who ever would have had a chance at that thing ever. Goddamn JB ain't even going to be here. It's going to be so easy, dude. You are literally a mouthless asshole. Like, look at you.
You aren't even on your own Mount Rushmore of champions. You realize that, right?
Dude, you can talk about Mount Rushmores and fancy little shit. Nobody cares. The chat thinks you're gay. Okay, let me just say that. The chat thinks you're gay.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They do. And I like how you nice microphone.
My chat
where'd you
thinks
get that?
you're gay.
Yeah, well, where'd you get that microphone from?
I got it from Amazon, actually.
Oh, who told you to buy that mic?
Oh, I asked you.
And what else do you ask me? Just about everything.
I don't know.
Just about
I guess.
everything. That's about everything. You would ask me to wipe your ass if I was there at your house right now. You probably ask me to wipe your ass. Daddy, how do I wipe my ass? Daddy, how do I talk into a microphone? Daddy, what microphone do I get? Daddy, what tags do I put in my videos? Daddy, when should I do this? When should I do that? Wipe my ass, Daddy. Your wife makes more money than you.
You think you're so funny.
Answer the
You
question.
really think-
Does
no.
your wife make
But-
more money than you? Does your wife make more money than you?
Does your wife make more money
Does your
than you? No.
wife make more money than you?
No, she doesn't.
She does. You know she does. Should I ask her?
Listen.
Let me ask
Go
Mommy.
ahead and ask her.
Let me ask Mommy.
Go ahead and ask her.
Let me ask
Good.
Mommy.
I'm glad she's successful and you have a nice house.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
Your wife makes more
man,
money than
Faggot.
What if she's up there? What if she's up there playing with your kid right now? Huh? Maybe she's a sicko. Maybe your wife's a sicko. You ever think about that?
Probably not. You're
a
going
sick
down a
person. Your
weird
family's
road here,
weird
man.
in Kansas.
Sitting here telling
Kansas
me that
City
I'm like some
fairies.
pussy.
You
Yeah,
sick.
you're the one who got
fuck.
fucked in the ass when I was at your house.
I told you to do it. Like I tell you to do everything else. You listen. I tell you to jump, you say how high. I tell you to fuck me in the ass, you fuck me in the ass.
Right,
I tell you to go upstairs and yell at your wife, you go upstairs and yell at your wife. I tell you to tell your daughter that my daughter wants to play with your daughter on Roblox. You tell your daughter my daughter wants to play on Roblox. You are the yes man. You are the listener. You are the epitome of yes, daddy. Tell me what to do so I can do it.
So, Joe, your defense here, to clarify, is that you begged him to fuck you in the ass, but he did as you told him to.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure for the chat. Needed to clear that up.
And then, you know what?
The last 3 weeks of Throwdown.
Do you know what he did then? Then he did this. He goes, I'm going to come in your ass. And I go, dude, get the fuck away from me. No, you're not. It was just a video. And I told him that, and he stopped that, too. He was going to come. That's how sick he is. Yes.
Jesus Christ. You are so fucking out of your mind. All this shit you've been saying, you're not even letting me talk. First of all, go back to the whole you're telling me how to do videos and stuff. Bitch, who's named the last 3 titles of Throwdown?
The last 3 titles of Throwdown.
The last 3 episodes of Throwdown. Who named him?
You did, because I told you to. I said, yeah, go ahead. Do the titles for me. I don't want to think about it.
I told you.
You work for me, you fucking idiot. You literally pay to work for me, you stupid asshole idiot.
Well, hey, you're used to letting your co-host do all the work for you. Hell, a month ago, you left us to sit there for 4 hours while you got all strung out on fucking edibles.
Yeah.
You leave Jake fucking hanging for hours at a time.
Hours at a time? When have I left Jake for hours at a time?
I mean, you left him for an hour.
You can't even do fucking math, you goddamn retard cheese salesman. You can't even do math. Go sell a fucking goddamn piece of shit cheese to some cocksucker in Green Bay, all right? So they can jerk off to Brett Favre, you cheese-sniffing asshole, you mongoloid. Fuck, your best friends with Bobbitt back in the day. Remember that? One of the worst champions ever. Oh, I love Bobbitt. He's good. Joe, you're wrong.
I thought we officially decided he's
you're
not.
friends with all the mongoloids of this community. You're friends with all the fucking mongoloids.
Let's talk about people.
I was right about everybody. I've been right about just about everything.
Oh yeah,
been right about just
you were
about
right
everything.
about so many of them that you let them all come on here and steal your audience and talk shit about you, right?
Oh yeah, I was right
Smart
about
guy
all
there.
It. I knew it would happen. I knew it, but I used them as long as I could. And guess what? Then I shit them out because I knew they were scumbags, and I used them for all I could because I knew they were scumbags. And once they stepped over the line, Daddy had to squash the bugs. And you're next, you little pipsqueak fuck.
Oh, I'm next. Yeah. Please give me my Friday and Saturday nights off so I can spend more time creating my own shit. I get more subscribers.
Yeah, it will be shit. Yeah, go ahead, create it.
You.
It will be shit. Create something. It will be shit. I know exactly. You're right. Oh yeah, I'll create my own shit. You will create shit. Oh look what I did, Joe. I wasn't on your show, so I made this. Yeah, it's shit. You're right.
Oh, shit? You think what I'm doing shit?
You said it was shit. You just said that just now. What are you, idiot? You don't know what you just said? You just said I'm going to create shit. Go ahead and create shit.
I'm going to create my own shit. Do you not know fucking?
Yeah, you're going to create your own shit. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. A big pile of shit.
Like a fucking liberal, you fucking libtard fag.
P-O-P-P-Y. P-O-P-P-Y. What are you, as delusional as Devious Dave, fucking anorexic. You fucking little poopy pants. You take a dung on the fucking floor. Go ahead and take a dung on the floor. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your brain waves are as crossed as Amanda's eyes. You're never going to fucking win shit, you piece of shit.
The shit you're saying is putting my fucking brain into a head spin. What the fuck are you even saying half the time?
Anything would put your brain into a head spin. If you knew it was in my head, your fucking head would explode. If you knew it was in here, can you imagine all the work you did to get fucking 5,000 subs? Imagine being at 69,000 subs and having over 300 patrons and fucking all this other shit. Your head would, it would fucking explode. You'll never get there.
Well, it's the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah, assholes like you. And you're about to be cast off. You're going to mail that fucking belt back to me, and I'm going to have the fucking belt. I created the belt, therefore I'm going to have the belt. I created the belt, I'm going to have the belt. I created the belt, I'm going to have the belt.
No one's going to vote for you, Joe.
JB couldn't hang. Everybody else couldn't hang. Rose couldn't hang. No, Tommy NC couldn't hang. Nobody can hang, Drew. And listen, if I can't win that belt on Friday night and it's not looking good for me, I have a plan that you fucking won't believe. I'm going to bring in somebody to monetize this that you won't fucking believe who it is. And I'll let them win the belt. I will let them win the belt. If I can't win the belt, I'll bring in somebody, and it's going to be so fucking crazy that they're going to win the belt. If I don't win the belt, they'll win the belt. and I will kill my own creation
bring
before you
anyone.
win that belt again. Before you can hold on to that belt, I'll kill my own creation, and I'll give it to some other person.
What a threat
I told
there.
you on Twitter, if you even bothered to watch the video, because you don't fucking do shit on Twitter.
If I watched your Twitter video earlier, I'd be asleep, and there'd be no out of nowhere, so I didn't watch it, because I didn't want to fucking end up...
Well, hey, don't fall asleep tomorrow night when I retain this title, because when I retain this title, I'm renaming it. I'm taking it elsewhere.
What are you going to name it? I'm a gay fuckhead?
I'm going to put my own logo on the top of it and defend it on Sunday nights. So you better figure out a way to win this. You better pull your ace in the hole, because if I retain this title, you're never getting it fucking back.
I hope to God in the first hour of Monetize This Friday night that you guys vote for me so much that it just looks retarded for Drew. Like, he looks retarded for being on the show. And remember,
So you wanted to get to the point that the only way anyone has a chance is if they all combine their efforts to form the ultimate negative power, super group.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe. It's a possibility. You know, it can't say it certainly isn't, but you two have got a lot of things you need to hash out here. The love is just out the window at this point, much like the shock factor. Joe, your anger scares me. I mean, I know that's why we don't talk about your first relationship, but
listen to me.
We don't.
What I do
we don't
tomorrow
want to get to
night,
that dark place.
What I do tomorrow night goes against my family, because some things, some bridges are burnt. Some bridges get burnt badly. And what
you
I'm
learned from Tommy. He is the master at burning bridges.
What
and force.
What I may have to do tomorrow will go against my wife. It will go against my family. It will go against my better judgment. But I know that if I have to do it, it will take that belt off you, Drew.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to fucking do it. Because what I've got in store for you is no match.
What are you going to take? You're going to use your wife's credit card? Is that what you're going to do?
Can't vote
you're
for
going to take
myself.
your wife's credit card and donate under a different name? Is that what you're going to do?
I don't need to do that.
Melissa donated $40.
I don't need to do that. And you can look it up and find out who did it if you want to dispute it. You know as well as I do that my fan base is much
Is my
stronger
fan
than
base,
yours.
yes, thank you.
Just like your first Monetize This champion had more title reigns and a bigger fan base on your own show than you did.
That is incorrect, sir. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you something.
Times?
Let me
You
tell you
didn't have
this.
6 times.
Let me tell you this. You're going to be so fucking pissed off tomorrow.
I could not imagine being pissed off retaining this belt.
You are going to be so mad tomorrow.
Jake. God damn, the just sexual tension.
Jake, aren't
here.
you going to be a part of this? Come on, what do you got to say?
Oh, I know where my.
Are you just
loyalties
along for
lie.
the ride at this point?
Oh,
huh?
I'm not along for the ride. I'm coming for the belt, but I have a stake to my claim, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's known before Monetize This happens tomorrow. You'll hear from me.
I'll look forward to it. I'll be ready to respond. I'll be ready to respond to anybody who puts something out tomorrow.
I got Tom Brady
Let's
coming
go.
in. I got Tom. If I can't win that thing tomorrow, I got fucking Tom Brady on speed dial. You're not going to believe it. Let me tell you this. Drew. Let me tell you this, Drew.
He's going to inflate your ego just
you
like
up.
he inflated those balls.
I will fucking fly down to Kansas if I have to, whatever shithole state you live in, and I'll beat the shit out of you in front of Jman, and then I'll throw you in the back of his truck and run you over.
Ooh.
Okay? Himmelgod's coming. If Himmelgod wants that belt, he might just take it. And don't think that I didn't save money, because I've got my own money. I'm going to be donating to somebody too, because I'm just going to get the money back. I'll lose 2%, but hey, I'll do what I have to do, and I'll be donating under the name Joe Cronin. What will you be donating the name under the name of your wife's name or someone else's name or a weird fake name? Hey, Drew, we give Drew the belt, $100. What's it going to be?
Drew, I can say he wouldn't do that. He's got too much respect for the game. He wants to go ahead. He'd want to win. I'd say that.
I've won this thing twice without having to drop $1. Why would I need to do it a third time?
Jake, is there anything else to wrap up for wrestling news tonight on Out of Nowhere?
That's it for the wrestling news, but I'm still the Out of Nowhere champion, and I think I want to be Jake 2 belts. So tomorrow should be very interesting.
I
I'm
can't
telling you
believe
that much.
I can't believe Tommy NC doesn't want to be Tommy Two Belts.
I'm shocked as well. I figured he would jump at this competition for a chance to be the champion again. He was lamenting over and over how he never wanted to give up that belt.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I texted him. I said, man, Tommy Two Belts sounds pretty nice, Tommy.
Yeah, one of the greatest. I know he was going through some stuff with, obviously.
His father just passed away.
Yeah, father passing, and that was hard. So, but we send him our well wishes. A lot of people were very nice to him, thankfully, and hopefully he can make it. It would be nice to see anyone and everyone pop on by tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a wild night no matter what, though. I can't fucking wait.
Blake is coming with the No Ma'am shirt. It says BMJ. That's pretty funny. Oh my God! Does it have the
your producer back, Joe?
Does it have the serial killer tendencies on it? Tomorrow night, Monetize This, 11 p.m. Usually, Monetize This has been on this channel, but years ago we changed it to Corrupted Nation. But now it's not on Corrupted Nation tomorrow night. It's going to be on Shame On News, my other channel, my third channel. Make sure you guys sub to Shame On News, or you look for the Patreon alert, or the alert, whatever the case. I'll be making videos saying, hey, we're live now, links down below, blah, blah, blah. Something weird happens, we'll be live on, D-Live as well if we have to be. But we'll be on Shame On News tomorrow night for episode 300. And really, that's it wrestling-wise. I think we got all the donos in.
Shit bomb!
Oh, no, we didn't.
You become a shit bomb.
The champion is here.
You're goddamn right.
You're not
and
the champ.
Still will be.
For the people that don't know, he's not the champ. He's just holding on to the belt right now.
I did all the legwork to get it here.
I don't know. He's got the title. Possessions. Possessions 9/10 of the law, Drew.
Threatened a terrorist.
And what?
Luther was painful. Buff Egan. Luther was Luther was that guy. I don't understand that at all.
You become
I like seeing him get put in the cake. That was worth
shit
it.
Bomb.
Right.
Yummy smiley face.
Yummy smiley face from JCS Foot Rub. Listen, JCS Foot Rub, you are without a doubt a naughty person. Jake, is there any last comments you want to make about being two belts?
No, I can't wait for Monetize This 300. Hopefully everybody tunes in tomorrow. Like we said, on Shame On News, going to be a wild night. Can't wait to see what the community has in store. Shit bomb.
You become a shit bomb.
It's going off now.
Everyone vote I Love Toes tomorrow.
Vote for I Love Toes, baby. Maybe I Love Toes will win. Glorious Eugene, thank you. I Love Toes has been a savage all year. Guys,
Well, you are the biggest fucking retard. You just called him Glorious Eugene for like the third time in 2 weeks.
Did I? Oh, Glorious 1.0. Great. Glorious 1.0. You happy, Drew? I'm sorry, your face was bothering me.
This is the guy who wants to be your champion.
I will be the champion. I created the fucking
You might have
belt.
bought the belt, but you left it in Canada to die, and who had to bring it back?
I created the belt, asshole. I created the belt, dick
And
face.
it'd still be sitting in a dusty basement in Canada if it wasn't for me. You don't want this thing.
I might
you
kill
haven't
you.
shown any need to want this thing.
I might kill you tomorrow. Monetize this. Maybe my wife will win it and take it away from you. How would you feel if my fucking wife?
I was going to say, all of us are going to be going after that title, and then Leah's going to walk away with that friggin' belt.
Wait, I'd be down with that.
Cucks out of all of us.
I'd be fine with that because at least she has enough sense to stay sober enough to finish this fucking show.
I'm gonna beat you with a goddamn rake. Here comes Karen.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen. You dumb bitch. Shit bomb!
Oh, dual donations going off.
A shit bomb.
Alex Oli.
We better see Purple P Guy tomorrow night.
Oh, that'd be great. Purple penis. That might have been what's his face. Alex Oli, thank you. I think that was
SJ_Sharks_refs tip $3. Were BACKKKKKKKKKKK. See you tomorrow, winking face.
All right, Drew's family's donating. No, San Jose Sharks referees are back, they say. They're back tomorrow night on Monetize This, man. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. Let's go back to the beginning of the show.
We'll see what those officials have to say. They might muddy the waters.
Here's my little song from the beginning. Good night, everybody. See you on Monetize This 300 tomorrow night. Fuck Drew and his life. Fuck his life. Monetize this 300 tomorrow night. Shame on news. You got to be there, you fuckers.
You could use a gun or a fucking knife. I wanna kill myself. It's Monday night. Well, I heard there was a secret way that Vince McMahon would push you today, but you don't really care for wrestling, do ya? Well, it goes like this on Monday night. You try to watch, but it's like a fight. Your eyes just wanna close, 'cause Vince will screw ya. How Vince screws ya. Vince will screw ya. Vince will screw ya.
Oh, I got something to show Drew, everybody. I got something to show Drew, everybody.
Well, your faith was strong that Becky belongs. You loved her even when she was wronged. You got mad when Nia clumsily bruised her. Well, sure enough, you would really get sick. Vince McMahon inserted offspring of Rick. That just shows you Vince will always screw ya. How Vince screw ya.
Let's take a little look at Drew's wife here for a second, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the whore. That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There she is. Yeah. Look at that, Drew. Hey, Drew, you remember that?
Yeah, does it make you jealous?
She's showing off.
My wife would never be such a whore on camera. Let me tell you that.
Oh, come on.
Why don't you put a leash on this bitch? Put a leash on this bitch, all right? Banging
You
everybody.
really think no one's been watching this show for years? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. My wife, now, you're like, why don't your wife give out her panties, too, to some of the listeners or whatever the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
It was a special episode.
Let's go. I mean, come on. What you're that's you're sick. That's called attention right there. You and your wife, or you'll do anything. You'll do anything. You're desperate. You're desperate. My wife would never do
You're
it.
calling me desperate.
She's desperate. My wife would never suck a bottle like a dick. Like, unless it was for like $10,000 maybe on camera. You just offers that up. But you're desperate for views. So you'll have your wife suck. Here, honey, suck a bottle off so we can try to get a couple views. So make some
This was
horny.
on your show, dipshit.
Yeah, and you wanted the money for the donations that went to your wife's whorish mouth.
Fuck
Your
that
wife's
shit.
whorish
Don't
mouth.
that Shit.
I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna text
her.
I'm gonna text a meme to her. It says whore. That's right. I'm bringing the wives into this. I'm bringing the fucking wives into this. Go ahead, say something. You're scared of my wife because you know.
I'm not scared of your wife.
Yeah, I'm not scared of your wife because I know she's like, like mine will get mad. You know the deal. You're a sick person. Sick family. My daughter's not hanging out with your daughter anymore either. Let's bring the families. You want to bring the families into it? You want to bring the families into it?
That's more of a punishment.
Yeah,
for
let's
Blue
bring the
Joe.
families into it.
Did you just
I'll make sure this time your daughter actually knows that Santa Claus doesn't exist.
Oh my God, you're a piece of shit! I hate the fuck out of you!
Fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. Fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karens are shit.
Fligger Flow tipped $5.55. What's up, Joe and Jake?
What's up?
Long-time listener, first-time donator. I honestly believe that Vince McMahon purposely sabotages the wrestlers. Can you guys speak to why that is, or if you even believe that?
I don't know why he would do that. I think he almost thinks he knows better than all of them at this point. I think at some point he might have thought maybe they're so stupid and terrible that he needs to be fully in charge. And so him being fully in charge is not very good, and also the wrestlers aren't very good either. So you put them both together and you get bad. That's my answer. You get bad.
Yeah,
just like if
I
you
agree.
put Drew on Raw, you'd put it together, you get bad. Just like with Drew. It's a good example is Drew. How you can look at every co-host.
McIntyre like that. That guy's
Dave
carried
Rose,
that belt the most of this year.
Tommy NC, Dave Rose, Ken JB, Tommy NC. You can just Dave. You could list everybody. You know, even Jake. You could just go through the whole list of like the Attitude Era, and then Vince is in charge of Drew. And what do you do with Drew? What do you do with Drew? You put a belt on him. You put a belt over his shoulder, try to make him better. But here by his promos, that he still sucks.
What do you do with Drew? You leave him at the desk.
Shut
and
the
walk
fuck up.
away
Good night,
without
Drew.
saying anything. What? You're just gonna talk over me every time? I get it. All right, go ahead. Wrap it up.
Goodbye, Drew. See you later. Monetize this. I'm gonna fuck your wife in the ass.
Suck my balls. It's gotta be those little green folk. Well, at least it's better than the black ones.
Oh my god.
Gotta be those little
You won't come over there and smell your fucking prostate.
I will be there tonight. Play this message back.
You piece of shit.
Cause you farted on my husband.
Go sit on the dildo.
Merry Christmas, you pussy. Merry Christmas, you pussy. Merry Christmas, you pussy.
What you do? You smell it. Fuck you! It's fucking dead!
I hope you hang your mother. You piece of shit.
Where's the fucking music?
Because the fucking lies, that's not cool. Because you're fucking sad that we didn't buy into your conspiracy fucking bullshit. Sorry.
Okay, sweetheart. Get ready for the cook.
Hi, pal.
Rogan.
Sound black to me.